Oh, I think it's going. Are we going? Give me the okay over on this screen, please. Five, four, three. Okay. All right, we're live. What's up, everybody? My name is Bailey, or you can call me Bayfield. We've got Logan and Enrique. Enrique's right here. He's a. We don't talk about it, but we're out here. We're gonna be talking about what, like future, just the future in general, and like what's next. That's what I titled it. So, what do you do after college? Because I feel like that's pretty broad.
Yeah, that works a little bit. I mean, we're gonna be talking about creative industry stuff, music making, life. That's kind of what I'm going for here.
Hold
Love it.
on. You said the future, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I was under the impression we were talking about future not pertaining to us. Like, what are we gonna? Robots?
Oh,
Aliens?
I thought you were gonna say
No.
future like the rapper.
Oh.
I thought we were gonna talk
no,
about
no.
future.
I mean, we can. I won't be able to say much about it, but
I know none songs.
yeah, same.
Wait, I know the one, but I can't remember it off the top of my
One
head.
future song.
The one future song.
Well, before we continue it, I think Enrique has something to say to you.
Oh shoot. Okay.
I do.
Yeah. This has everything to do with Allison.
Uh-oh. Oh no, wait. All right. I think I know what's coming. Go ahead and hit me.
Mr. Bailey, it was of last month where you were streaming for a good amount. About I don't know what you were sitting in your chair.
Yes.
The I've been getting some spam comments from one Mr. Senior Bates. Uh, it turns out Allison is Senior Bates.
Yes.
That's pretty much it.
Oh, that was it. Oh shoot. That was that day. It had me confused.
That is not Allison.
I mean, that whole thing, dude. I don't even know.
There was like three of us, like saying we're all one person.
Okay,
Yeah.
no, but in all honesty, I was that guy.
Yeah,
And what?
I had one feeling.
So, what happened is, Logan had sent a video in the group chat, the band that we're in, and I was looking through Logan's favorites that he had, and one of them was from a vlog that you had like way back when, and I was like, oh, who's this guy? And so I was watching your vlog, and then I noticed on your channel that you were live streaming that same time. So I click on your live stream, and I'm like, oh, and I had already seen your vlog, so I had known that you went to Liberty at one point.
Mm.
So I was like, I can use this as an advantage to creep on this guy.
Oh my. Well done.
So yeah,
Dude,
and then
that-
hijinks ensued.
That was something because I didn't know Allison much. Like I knew her like enough to like know her name and she knew my name. So I was like, shoot, how does she know this stuff about me? Like what's happening? Dude, that was good. That made up
I
like
didn't-
content from most of the stream.
I like the fact that in that same stream, another guy whose also name was Logan was in there.
Oh,
And
yeah.
that just added to the hype.
Because it's like, dude, I'm Logan. What's my real name? I'm Logan. Good times.
Dude, hey, there's a certain individual that should be commenting if they're watching this stream. I'm not sure if they've gotten any comments. I'm not on the actual video itself, but
I've got a few.
Honest-
I don't see any of the goon squad.
we're expecting. So
Congratulations, dude.
thank you. I appreciate it. Enrique and I are very happy about it,
Dope.
and so is Allison. So is Allison, I guess. But
So y'all said that y'all are in a band together?
yes,
What
we are in
kind?
a band. That's a great question. I think Enrique should answer that question.
All you, my guy.
The question is, are we in a band? What is yes?
Oh.
What is yes?
No, we're in a band, small little band called Barcerado.
Barcelona.
BARCERADO.
Spotify.
Discount code Barc.
Nope, not yet. Not that far yet.
Bandcamp.
Nope, not that far yet either.
Um,
We've been a band since 2000, I believe it was 14 or 15, and we have currently professionally recorded 2 songs, like in a
Ooh.
studio.
Uh,
Well, 3 of them actually, and we're in the process of getting 2 of them mastered. And this is like over a year in the process because I have been like really bad with like school management and like life management. which we can talk about later.
Yes.
But like, we're basically in the process of getting these 3 songs as an EP out, and then we're doing a bunch of solo act stuff right now. Not necessarily solo act, but like Enrique and another guy named Alex in our band have purchased audio interfaces. They can record stuff at home. We all kind of work on this platform called Noteflight, where we compose music and write things. So we're not like incredibly established at the moment. Like, we're trying to get more into funk right now. I think that's probably what Enrique. Would you agree with that? Like, funk's kind of the direction we're kind of in right now.
Totes my goats. I'd say we're the funkiest of them all.
So, in Enrique's picture, which isn't up anymore, were you playing guitar and singing? Is that your forte? And then I know Logan plays drums because he's a drummer boy, and there's drums in the back.
For sale, hit me up.
Hey, for sure.
That specific picture was from our first. I think it's our.
That was our
show.
very first show.
Oh.
Yeah. And that was Logan's mom took that picture.
Yeah,
Is she a photographer?
Professional. Yeah.
Professional. Freaking good. Professional, my guy. Man. That's sweet, dude. It looked good.
Yeah, and we have some more on the Facebook page, which is the only way that we actually can connect with people if you're looking to reach out.
Yes. At the end of this, can you send me a link and I'll post it in the description?
I can do that. I can do that now, actually, if you want me to.
Yeah. Send it on Facebook because I can just copy and paste it right in the video.
Absolutely. I will say this, for everybody watching this that doesn't know me, I'm getting ready to graduate college, which is dope.
Mm-hmm.
But because of that, I'm actually moving back to Charlotte, which is where this band is located out of. And in the process of doing that, we're going to be not necessarily rebranding, but kind of getting ourselves kind of back out there and actually taking this whole production thing, like, full steam ahead. That's the plan, at least. And playing live music more. Like, we're just playing at open mic nights right now. We're not really doing a whole ton, but
that's still something, though. As long as you're out there.
I agree.
Have you ever heard of the app Amuse?
I have not. Enrique, have you?
No,
so there's literally an iPhone app that connects to like iCloud and Google Drive, and you can literally get your mastered song and upload it onto Amuse, and it goes straight to Spotify. So like, my friend and I just like I just mess around and throw stuff out there. So like I've made a couple songs that I posted, and it's literally just to more or less like a bucket list thing, but it's just fun to just. I like to do things that are just creative out of my comfort zone, and that's one.
I feel you. I feel you.
But no, that's sweet. And then Lance and I, which he's been in my videos before, him and I recorded like a demo EP for one of our friends, and what did we do that through? It was through an app called Root Note, I think, or Route Note.
Chat.
Rap Chat? Is that a real thing?
Yeah, it's a real thing.
Dang it.
We'll talk about it in a second.
All right. But, I mean, so I want to try to get, I want to try to understand music. Lance is a music guy. He plays drums, and he's like the music director at our church, but I don't know much. I try.
Yeah, I feel you, man. I'm kind of in that boat right now because I've been a percussionist most of my life.
Yeah.
And I am doing my best to contribute to everything that my band's doing right now, and songwriting and that kind of thing. And it's pretty hard right now because it's just my major is not music.
Yeah.
I am digital media, as you know, but people watching and listening, they don't know that. So I specifically do video production, but percussion is like really where my heart is set at. That's where my passion is. That kind of drives me. And music is the reason behind that. Like, I love playing drums and percussion to music. I mean, I do enjoy playing percussion in general, like by itself, but music is what drives that. So I've been, over the last like 2 years, I've been going through this like journey of trying to understand why certain things in music make me feel the way they do. But going off of that, like, that's very much, yeah.
Yes. So, visual media. I mean, I feel like that's just as useful in like a band setting.
Oh, absolutely.
Alone. I mean, so were you visual media in a like a social media like comms field, or like a movie?
Yes, it's so at Liberty we had cinematic arts and digital media.
Yes.
And cinematic arts is more focused in film, so making Hollywood films. and digital media is more broadcast television. So my degree there, it's really expanded since I first started studying. It's gone a little away from broadcast. Like, it still specializes in broadcast, but it's gone more towards creating video content in general, like on a broad scale. Like, for example, in my senior portfolio class, is a class that all digital media people have to take. There was a very large pool of talent in that group. There was a colorist, there was multiple audio people, there was multiple people who have done weddings, motion graphics, you know, a giant pool of talent in that class, and very different, interest levels and stuff.
Yeah.
But we all have fall underneath the degree of like the school digital content creation, basically. And underneath that, we all have our respective degrees, like video, audio. I believe social media is one, or used to be one. And there's various other ones. I think like screenwriting is another one of those. But that just kind of gives you an idea of how diverse my degree field is versus cinematic arts. There's that same kind of approach, but it's all more or less you're in cinematic arts. I might be completely wrong. I'm not in that school, so it might be completely different. But as far as like the way my school is organized, it's kind of how it is.
Yeah, from what I was like getting when I was there was that digital media is more small scale, not even small, like it's more like you are in control, as opposed to like cinematic arts is like a huge group of people are
right.
The big, like you've got like a DP and a director, all these like sound guy, like it's like a million people making one thing, as opposed to, for the most part, it seemed like digital media kind of goes towards a small crew or solo.
Yeah, I would say that's probably more accurate as far as how it does lay out. I mean, I definitely feel a lot more prepared to go out and direct, produce, and everything else that comes with this field of content creation. Just based on, I mean, for example, I literally had to produce a whole entire television, like 16-minute segment by myself, like produce and direct it. So I produced the content during pre-production, and then I directed the whole thing.
That's
like
crazy.
During the actual live production. So I mean, it was a lot, and it was mostly because my class was smaller, and we had certain things happen in the class that made uneven numbers essentially. And I had taken a class before that, so I had more experience than a lot of people in the class at that moment in time. So it's just kind of how it worked out, and I look back at it, it was a good experience for sure. Cause it made me really versatile and all that. But
that's sweet.
Yeah.
Enrique, what about you? What kind of major are you in right now?
Right now, I am a music major, but it's pre-music, so it's not really getting into the actual nitty-gritty of music theory and composition making, but it is the start of it. It's like the foundation of all of it. But yeah, I'm supposed to be transferring over to UNC Charlotte this upcoming semester.
Nice.
Which is when everything's supposed to get going. Because prior to this, I was a graphic design major over at Central Piedmont Community College.
Content creation.
Sweet.
Right. And going off that, content creation now seems to be a little bit more like generalized to what, like, if you can't just be one specific thing. Like what I learned when I was doing graphic design was that a lot of people, when they come to you for some type of like creative output, they want you to make a website, or if they need you to make like a new logo, they don't just want you to be the guy that can make the logo. They want you to do like the logo, create the website, maintain it, and on top of that, like build like some type of social media following around it.
Yeah.
And I feel like dependability is what people are really looking for in just somebody who knows just one thing versus like someone who knows everything.
Yeah, so actually interesting that you say that, because I feel like in like a professional setting, like if you're a freelance designer or music or whatever, having multi-tools is super important and broadening is really important. But I would say that as like a media, like an entertainer, if you were to be a famous YouTuber or like a Instagram star or something, it's like bad to be multiple things. Like people if you're too many things, people won't stay on you because they want, like if they I don't know if you know Casey Neistat on YouTube. He he was huge for a while doing just vlogs, and that was like what his big thing was, and he got all these subscribers as a vlogger, and then he kind of went away from that and he did different types of videos, and he just like kind of fell off for the most part. And it was because so many people came and subscribed to him as a vlogger, but then once he started doing other things, they were like, well, what's happening? There's too much going on. I came here for the vlogs. I don't know what's happening. So it's like an interesting like differentiation between the two.
I think that really just shows, and I'm not like saying this to like harp on him or anything or bash him. I don't even know who this is, but it really shows how important it is to know your audience.
Yes.
Because if you don't, if like the people, like you just said, like the people who were coming to him were coming to watch vlogs, and the moment he changed that, his audience changes. If you change the content creation that you're doing, so I mean, there's nothing wrong. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing, branching out and doing other things. Like that's totally what I'm trying to do. Actually, I want to get into sound design more, for example. Again, that's something that I am progressively working on, and obtaining those things.
Mm-hmm.
While I don't have a giant YouTube following or anything of that nature, I don't see anything wrong with going out and branching out and trying to do, if you're trying to do short films, for example, what you're a vlogger, like do it, like learn from it, fail, succeed, do all the things that you need to do to get better at it. And if it's not something you don't like it or whatever,
you learned.
You learn some process, and that's one of the most important things about what we do in this. I want to say this activity. It's not an activity, I guess it is, but like, that's like one of the most important things in our career field, because it's constantly creating things, and as creators, you want to get better at things. I mean, at least that's how I am. I'm a perfectionist at heart, so it's like, because I'm such a perfectionist, I'm always looking to, fix things about what I did, like a performance, for example. Like if I'm performing something that I've worked on, and I'm singing, for example, and I miss a note, or like not even necessarily miss a note. I mean, that's a pretty huge thing, but like, let's say I literally just like had something weird with the way I said a word, for example, to say it, dumbed down way. I will think back on that and like, not necessarily like look past all the good things that happened, but like just like, oh man, I could have done that better, and like. And sometimes I do it a little too much, where it's harmful, because it's like,
I was gonna say
all the good stuff. Mm-hmm. Like that's a flaw I have, but because of that though, it helps you get better. And it's like, I'm personally always starving to get better at whatever it is I'm doing. So putting that back in the wrapping that all the way around full picture, there's nothing wrong with branching out. You just still have to know who your audience is, and if you have to develop a new audience based on something new that you want to do, like there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
Because some people will stick around, but like, we could talk all day about this.
Yeah, so that's the thing with video that makes it kind of, it's like one of the other, like, when you make a video, you post it and it's out there, and it's like you always go and see that. And if there's like a scene that you did that you were like iffy, it's always there, but you can always see it, and you're like, okay, that's how I filmed it. What don't I like about it? And then next time you can improve on it. But then there's also like the destructive version of where you're just always self-critiquing, like in a destructive way, but it's just it's gauging when's it destructive and when's it constructive.
Yeah, that's like definitely something that you need to explore for yourself, for sure.
Yeah. Yes.
I haven't watched this video all the way through, but there's this video entitled "How to Make a Living Off of Music / What You Need to Do." It's kind of like one of those bait clicky videos.
Yeah.
I decided I would give it a shot. It's by Adam Ivy.
Ooh.
And he talks a lot about this whole aspect of like, something that I get caught up in sometimes is like the hype of all of this industry. Like, as a young professional, I'm not really like out in the field yet, like totally. I've gotten experience through college, but there's so much hype around content creation, because like everything in our pop culture is based around it. Our news, our video, our music, movies, it's all based around the hype of all these different things, like put X, Y, and Z. And something he really talks about is just like actually getting off of like all these different interaction apps, like getting off YouTube, Facebook, and just doing the things. Like if you want to be a really great guitarist and singer, then yes, it's good to like look at things on YouTube, but finding that line of like, and should I be practicing right now? I probably should be practicing right now, versus like, oh, there's one more video watching how to play, technique video or whatever.
See,
like,
that's, and I think that's different than perfectionism. I think that's like, I don't even know what you would call it, but there's so many people that get caught up in, dang it, I just want to get better, but before, like, they're afraid to get started because they don't think that they're good enough. So they're like, I'm just gonna watch until I'm comfortable enough. But you're not gonna, if you don't practice, you're not gonna ever get there. Like, we're in the midst of writing this short film, and I think that it has like potential to be really, really great, and I think that we could like put it into some contest. But I've been saying that we need to do some smaller things just to kind of like get the ball rolling and practice some of the shots or whatever, like get the kind of like our mind in the right place. But because we're just afraid that we're gonna go in and just botch it, but then like in that we're just not doing anything, like nothing's happening. So like you have to do something. That's why I like podcasts, because like I can film this and upload it, and like there's a little sense of accomplishment which ends up translating to doing other things. And like I just have like there's a word for it, I can't remember. Like when I upload, I feel like I did something, and I'm like, shoot, there's like a upload high where I just want to keep doing stuff.
Yes, that very much exists. Like that's something that Adam Ivy talks about in this video a lot, and it really like kind of hit me pretty hard, because I'm very much about like getting, not necessarily getting attention. That's probably like the dumb way of saying it, but like I'm very self-critical, because I put amount of time into my work. It's almost like you expect recognition.
Yes. And
it's not even like I don't know how to describe it. It's not like a selfish thing. It's more like you put work into something, it's natural to, want people to like it, or that kind of thing. And that's the thing he talks about. It's like the moment you stop striving to, you upload a video and you're like, oh, how many likes do I have? Like 10 minutes after it's uploaded, like that does more harm than it does anything.
Yeah, you're always gonna be disappointed because you're always gonna be shooting for goals that are too high.
And like,
go ahead.
No, I was gonna say that like that's not bad, but like, that shouldn't be the sole reason why you make content. But two, like, Adam Ivy was really emphasizing on stop wasting your time looking for these things and keep making content.
Yeah.
Like, know what your consumers want, or your customers want, excuse me. Make content. Once you deliver the content, keep making content.
Yeah.
And that's something I feel like a lot of people, including myself for sure, like struggle with, because it's like you want to see like the fruits of your labor. You don't need to.
Yeah.
Like, I think it's something that you.
Oh no, it froze. Logan, come back.
Am I still here?
Yeah, you're still here. Logan, I miss you.
Oh no. Right in the middle of
a great point. Oh, here it comes. I'm so excited. What are your thoughts right now?
I was gonna say, thinking about like striving for goals and trying to attain them. It's very weird that the business that we're in is very much about how you are seen at an individual level. Like it's almost like this type of business we're in, like music, or if you're doing art, or if you're even doing like some type of freelance work for somebody else. It's weird that we're trying to validate ourselves by the work that we put out, but I think like everyone understands it sounds a bit conceited, because no one wants to seem like oh, my work didn't get enough views, or I didn't do good enough because of this. But like at the same time, that's what gets us to be well known, or gets us more attention.
Yeah. So it's just hard to find the it's hard to find the like middle, because you don't you don't want to be conceited and say it's all about the views, but you also kind of need to get that growth. But you just got to focus on steady growth as opposed to just like hoping for a big giant burst of people coming.
Right, exactly.
I've got a point, but I want Logan here. So tell us about you. So you're what school? What are you doing right now?
As of right now, I am in the summertime, not doing much.
Oh, that's right.
I don't have any classes.
That's right. So are you a junior?
Technically,
ish.
Yes, yeah. If you want to call it that, I would have like 2 more. Once I get enrolled into UNC, yes, it would be. I'd have 2 more years to go.
Nice.
But, like I've been in and out of majors, like they can't really call me anything on my my transcripts. It's like, oh, he's done all this.
Yeah.
Do whatever you want with him, you know.
That's how I was at Liberty. I switched so many times, and I don't know. Like, have you ever heard of interdisciplinary studies?
Yeah.
That's what I ended on, and I was doing graphic design and psychology, but I'm out here for the experience is my goal. I think that college is great, but I can't do it.
So how long were you at Liberty before you decided to go on to this thing?
So I went to VCU, which is a school in Richmond, for 1 semester. I was in the art school. So I was like, it's like a big deal. I'm in art school. And then I did the first semester and I was like, this is not right. So I left there and went to Liberty for 3-ish, like 3.5 semesters. My last semester that I did was I did online, and for online it's in 8-week increments, and I did half of the 8 weeks and then just stopped doing it. So it was like 4 1/4-ish. But I've got credits of like a sophomore and a half.
Is there anything about the YouTube that made you want to do this? Like, is there someone that you aspire to be? Maybe like a Casey Neistat or something?
Casey Neistat's great. Gary Vaynerchuk. John Acuff. There's a few people. And like people around here that I've just talked to.
Right.
It was like it felt like, I don't know. It was like a move that I wanted to do before I even started school. I wish that I would have done either like a community college or taken a gap year, because it just, like now all the school that I had was semi-useless. I met people that, like, this wouldn't have happened if I didn't go to school. So there's stuff like that, like connections, but I don't know. I want to be not even an advocate, but like somebody who didn't finish school but still had some success, just to show that you don't have to go to school. But I also think that school's fine. There's just it just is for certain people.
I think it's school by itself. Its very definition is supposed to teach you to inspire you to, put something out better in the world.
Yeah.
And sometimes that gets lost in translation because it starts to become more about like how smart you are, or how much you know about one thing, instead of like trying to pull out how much potential you can actually do.
Yeah.
And that part, I think, could be focused on a little bit more, because you get all these, placement exams and EOGs, and, they're supposed to help you, or at least tell you how good you are at math or reading or whatever, but maybe sometimes your little niche thing that you're good at can, benefit some way.
Yeah. So that was one of the things that was like kind of my tipping point. I was taking a screenwriting class at Liberty, as like one of my minors I was trying to minor in cinematography, and I took it, and it was like it was super what the teacher wanted, as opposed to what I actually thought was good or what my classmates thought was good. So it was like you wrote something and you would feel really good about it, and then your teacher would say, this isn't what we're looking for. And I'm like, well, if we're all trying to strive towards the exact same thing, then only one person is going to come out. Like, I don't think that people should. It's hard to be your own person when somebody's telling you exactly what to do. Like, you can't. Right. I don't know. And especially in a creative thing. If it's like a STEM degree, like if you're like going to be a doctor, you do want to kind of all be about the same, because like the heart is only one thing. You got to know the heart. I don't know, but like having a teacher say like this isn't good when you and your people that you care about say it's great it's just a different dynamic that I think it does more hurt than good. I don't know. That's that.
It definitely also makes it harder to grade. Like when you're looking at different students' assignments, I'm pretty sure it's just as hard for the teacher.
Oh, yeah.
The abstract value that it has.
Well, yeah, and I shouldn't really put all the blame on the teacher, because it is how it is. But it doesn't, like, it's set up for failure. Getting graded on some, I think that, like, there's like the example of like if Quentin Tarantino were to be in this class, he'd probably fail because it's not the same structure, but he is super successful as his own thing. So it's like it's hard to be different.
Right. Absolutely. I also find like if we're talking in terms of art, like at some point there's got to be like a point where art is not just art because it's there. Like I know minimalist art, especially like it exaggerates this, but you know about the people who are like they see a white canvas and they're like, why is this art, right? But then there's some people who is like, well, no, it's because of this and because of how you interpret it, right?
Yeah.
But there's got to be some point in between like someone painting a very like maybe like the Sistine Chapel, and then like someone who just puts like a white canvas.
Yeah.
That where we can say like this is where we draw the line. But like at the same time, it's taught. Anything can be interpreted into an artistic type of value. But
yeah. So that's
like
that's what I learned at that one semester of art school. It wasn't even about who had the best art. It was who had the best like description of what they just did. So it was like the best BSer at what they did kind of thing, which was an interesting dynamic. Hey, Logan.
Hey, I'm back.
What's up?
Not much. Life throws you lemons sometimes, and you just throw them at the wall and hope for the best.
That's right. Slam them at the computer, hope it doesn't freeze.
Yep, that's me right now.
That's hilarious. We were talking about schooling and grading and art.
Art, man.
Art in general. I was saying that there's got to be like a drawing. You got to draw the line somewhere, and what can be considered art worthy, and what is just like someone going like, oh, here's a bunch of rocks on a table,
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, but at the same time, art teaches you that you can just interpret anything to some type of extent. So
right.
It's just like very weird, space that you're in where you have to like consider. It's very whatever you think about it at the individual.
Yeah.
Like, if you find it interesting, there's like a good chance somebody else will find it.
And that's what I'm saying. Like in the example of that screenwriting class, like we had like some great ideas, and it would be like 8 of us would be on it, and then the teacher and like 7 other people wouldn't be on it. But it's you're focusing on the grade instead of the creation. So like I don't know. It just seems like the wrong objective.
Yep. It's kind of like Enrique and I were actually talking on this. Like I called Enrique on my way like to my house today, and we actually talked about this exact same thing about like how music itself can be really subjective, and this is very extreme. I'm not gonna go over the whole exact like example he gave, but like like making a song super minimalistic and like about potatoes, and somebody like basically takes a complete like a different way and like forms a cult over it, like that kind of thing. Like it's more likely not gonna happen, but like anything can happen.
Dude, it's true. Like the movie The Room?
Oh my gosh, yes.
Like that movie is not good. Like by in the books that movie's not good, but because of the culture that it's like created, it's fantastic. Like it's a golden flick, if you will.
It's the best worst movie of all time.
Yeah.
Like that's what people are. That's what's being dubbed as. So.
The disaster movie.
Yep.
Disaster artist.
I still need to see that. I've not seen that yet.
You're James Not Franco and you haven't even seen it.
Yep.
Dang, dude. So let's see. I'm trying to remember when you froze. Oh, okay, I got it. So you were talking about goals, and we were like talking about self-destructive and constructive criticism.
Yeah.
So we just did a podcast about collaboration and opportunities.
Right. Yeah.
And in there, Taylor was saying something about the your different types of goals, where you've got something that you'll reach, target goals where you think this is about my peak. Like if I were to peak, this is my peak, and then you've got your reach. I think that's like so important, because I think reaching goals, like I also said about to-do list, how I'll do a to-do list and it'll be one thing, but then it'll have subcategories, so at least it feels like I'm Xing things off because that gives momentum. But like that's why you have your easy goals. Like you got to have some easy goals, because you get those, then you get your target goals, and you're like, sweet, all right, I'm like feeling good, and you reach, and then it's all about momentum. So because you were in that example, tracing that back to talking about how when you post a video and you're wanting views, It's okay to like have goals. Like, okay, I want this video to get 50 views and 10 likes. You don't want to say, all right, I'm trying to get this video at 100,000 likes. We're gonna get 2 million views, and just be upset when you get 12 and a half people watching it, sharing it to only their grandparents. Like you want attainable goals. You can have some reach goals, but don't put all your money on the reach goals.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, the thing I was like kind of going for when my computer froze was how I'm blinking now. Oh my gosh, I literally just had it in my head. Hold on, give me a second.
So you're talking about?
Okay, no, I got it.
Boom.
So basically talking about like it's good to like look into your analytics. You look into what your audience is watching, and look for like the feedback that you're getting from your audience. Like that's incredibly important.
Yes.
So like that needs to be something that you pay attention to as a creative, but it's not something that you should be like refreshing the page every 2 minutes. And like I have found myself doing that before. It's like I put something up and I'm like refreshing every like hour or 30 minutes to see like if anybody's liked it or like content. I feel like there's like a whole culture around that whole idea.
Yeah.
But really taking the approach and flipping it around of like taking it from attention seeking to criticism seeking. You know what I mean? Like, how can you make a better product out of this? How can I, further reach my audience?
Yes. So like, if you're saying, say you post something on Instagram and you're like, shoot, it's been 24 hours and I've only gotten 68 likes, and you're like, that's upsetting. What can I do better? Like, you don't want to say that was a crappy post. You want to say, how can I make that post better? And then because if you posted it, you obviously thought it was good enough to post. So, but that's what it's tough with a target audience, like reaching a target audience.
Yeah, create it first.
It's tough. Yeah. Yes. Yeah.
That is the biggest thing. Like, so like with our band Barcerado.
Yes.
We don't put out content all the freaking time. Like we kind of set this goal to it, and like we're gonna start doing that soon. But because we haven't started doing that as much, we don't really have a set audience. Like our audience is basically like parents and friends and like friends of friends, which is like that's how you start in music, in my opinion. Like you get your friends or whatever, your parents to like share your music, and like you show your friends your music, and like like you have to like make it spread somehow. And if it's good, it will spread on its own based on what you've already done with it. But because we don't necessarily have like a set audience yet, it's really difficult for us to get our feet off the ground, I believe, personally. I mean, Enrique, is that something you say that's accurate?
Yeah, it's definitely takes longer to grab an audience when you don't really have one, except friends and family. And I also feel like it really takes, there's got to be some amount of luck to it, because if that were true, every talented person I've met should be on the charts, on the radio. But like, it's not true. And I've met people who are 10 times more talented than I am, and they they're just small town, they go to local bars and they play, but they just don't have that following. And I'm like, why don't you? I
think that's when connections come in. Like, you gotta take your like you gotta talk around to people. And like there is a lot of times where it's luck, like especially if you're like playing in a bar and there just happens to be a guy that's there that wants to talk to you. But I mean, that's why like it's good to do things with family and like have that audience, because they can share it, especially like on Facebook. Like they're like, here's my son and he's doing this, because then they'll see it. And you can also I think that there's an importance in it's like a focus group of like a few people that you listen to everything they say, and that I think will come more with having once you like completely figure out what you're trying to shoot for, because you're like, okay, this person likes, like if y'all are trying to do like funk music, this person likes funk music, they have like a taste for it, so they can, their criticism means more than my sister's friend kind of thing.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, I see exactly where you're going with that. Definitely, like it's definitely important to like have people you would, I don't almost say necessarily like aspire to be like, but like it goes back to setting goals. And if you have a goal of setting like, I want our sound to sound like this band, for example, and obviously you want to make it your own music, but like having that style, it's more of a style versus like copying the music. You know what I mean? Like the difference.
Yeah.
Like if you're trying to obtain a certain style, having people who actually play that style like having them kind of mentor you in that.
That actually get it.
Yeah, mentors are incredibly important.
Yes, yeah.
Everything. So like, that's the biggest thing. That's kind of not necessarily changing the subject, just kind of a side note. The biggest thing about college that is good is that you have that mentorship, but it's not necessarily necessary.
Yeah.
You can find mentors else other ways without spending 50 grand. But moral of the story is yes, like mentors are incredibly important, and you got to find those people. And that's a whole different subject of actually like how do you find mentors?
Yeah. So I mean, like a perfect example is like say you play ping pong. Like ping pong's your thing. You're not going to get any better if you're playing your sister in the basement all the time. Like you're going to be you can only peak so much.
Yeah.
Like you're going to want to play with somebody who's better than you. You've got to like a mentor is the person that's better than you, that's guiding you through what makes you better.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
There's a lot of people that are scared of that too. They're like, I don't want to, like, I'm afraid that I'm going to always lose, so I don't want to be around this person. I love winning. That kind of thing. You gotta accept the failure.
Absolutely.
You can only learn from failure.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with failing.
That's right. Hey, let's see, anybody in the chat, if you have any questions that you want to ask in a little bit, you can be posting them and I'll read them in a second. Any chats for Logan and or Enrique or myself?
Are these the usual people?
There's a few. Yeah, it's all. Oh.
Hey, it's an audience.
Supposedly, Sarah said that Senor Bates was in for a moment.
I was in?
Mm-hmm. That you were in chat.
Oh yeah, he was. Like if you scroll back like really late, or there's Senora Bates, not Senor Bates.
It's Senora
Bates.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Ooh, the missus.
I'm not sure who that is. I don't know who that is.
Nice.
I think I know who that is. I think I know.
I feel like I might know who that is, but I don't know for a fact.
So Red Vlogs asks, "How old are you?"
I'm 21. How old are you, Logan? 22.
I am 12.
Knew it. I knew it.
No, I'm 23.
23. You're a big boy, huh?
I guess.
I am 22.
I'm feeling 22. We got the trifecta.
Heck yeah.
Dope.
Are you guys planning a celebration post grad?
Any fun trip? Like, I assume that means like traveling, like big things.
Well, I'm getting married, so I guess you can
Oh, that's right. I was gonna ask you about that. I was like, so who's the lady? I was gonna act on, but then I was like, shoot.
Who's the lady? Oh, you've met Allison, and you met 4 different Allisons, and it's the one.
The red hair.
Yeah, it's the one you met in person.
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, but we're getting married at the end of the year, and we don't. I don't have any big trips personally after I graduate, just because I am poor.
Congrats on the. So you're all engaged?
Yes.
Dope. Congrats on that. Not the poor thing. You'll figure that out.
Yeah, I'm.
Oh yeah. Let's see the ring.
Yeah. Hold on.
Oh sweet.
No, we're actually gonna see. I was just joking.
Let's talk about him behind his back.
Oh god.
Do you have any trips
Logan
planned?
Me? This summer is supposed to be more based on the band and touring and stuff, and maybe get a website developed. So I don't have much things planned for that. Oh, here it comes.
Oh, here comes the bride, all dressed in Billabong.
All right. You asked for the ring?
Yeah.
Here it is.
Oh my gosh. What is that?
Okay. So this.
Here, wait. For people that are just listening to this, he just pulled out a 450 carat diamond.
Fake.
The size of his fist.
For people who are just tuning in, it seems like Logan's about to propose on stream.
With a bracelet-sized diamond.
Okay, so the quick story behind this is my mother gave this. Happy Mother's Day, by the way.
Happy Mother's Day
my
to all our
mother
friends.
Gave
Day,
this to me and my brothers. Like she got 3 of them. I don't know why she got them, where she got them from, but she got them. It was like, okay, when you finally find the one, like this is the thing. And it was kind of a joke, but I totally didn't use this when I asked Allison to marry me because I thought it'd be a little. It's not.
It would take away from the moment a little bit, yeah.
Could you imagine, like, for everybody who could see me, like, I have this giant box, and it's just like, will you marry me? Like,
when you brought out the giant box, I thought the box was the joke, and then he pulled out a giant ring, and I was surprised.
I mean, could you imagine, like, trying to pull this out of a pocket? You know, like.
No, put it in. You have like a hoodie on it. It's in the back of the hood.
I mean, that might work.
Honey,
but,
what
like,
is that?
Still, like...
Don't worry.
No, don't worry. It's just, a giant box.
Oh, you mean this
whatever.
thing? It's something that you would win out of a vending machine.
I mean, like, just for the viewers at home, this is not real. I promise.
It looks like it's got some weight to it, though, the way you're holding it.
Yeah, it is a little. It's like maybe like
6.5 pounds.
I don't even know if I'd say that much.
Like, it looks like about a 2.5er.
I don't have great judgment with like weight, but like it's.
Do you ever play 20 questions? Is it heavier than a meatloaf?
Yes.
Smaller than a duck? That's sweet.
Depends on the duck.
It's a mallard. Canadian.
Yes, it's smaller than.
Sweet.
Unless it's a baby.
It's a duckling. That's sweet. No, that's hilarious.
You know what this logo stands for?
It's 2 triangles. No, it looks like Dude Perfect.
What like
DP.
What logo?
I'm gonna say that in the chat. Is it Dude Perfect? Let's see if I'm right. Everybody in the chat, let's wait in anticipation.
Oh, I see. Oh no, it looks like Avid, yo.
Or Avid. I've never edited with Avid.
I haven't either, but oh nope, it's not Avid. Avid goes up and down, and then there's like the one bar and then the play buttons, like the pause play.
I've seen Avid, and I know that for a while it was like #1 because you could share projects across like the air.
Yeah.
But now Adobe does that, so I think they're back in.
True. Dude, I'm about to get. Actually, I already bought it. I got the Logic Pro and Final Cut student package like 5 days before I graduate. So
you get it for the year up until?
No, it's like a one-time buy. You get it for like life.
That's sweet.
So, like you save over $300 with it. So
that's dope. Yeah, because Liberty gave you all the Adobe stuff, and that was great. Yes. But then when I went online, they took it away. But
yeah, when you graduate, I believe it goes away too.
Yeah.
If I'm not mistaken, which really sucks, but it is what it is.
It is. What I mean, it makes sense for them. And
yeah, exactly.
I ended up getting an internship that gave it to me, and I still have it, which is dope. So I'll take that.
Yeah, man, Adobe is good, and I feel like they're like definitely like probably industry standard, but like I don't know, like I've had a lot of issues with Premiere personally. Like, it's just like I don't know. Like,
did you get Cloud or did you get like?
Yes, Creative Cloud.
Oh, okay.
But using that program itself, for example, like this is a very small thing, but I'll have keybind set, right?
Yeah.
For example, I'll do, on a Mac Control 2, and that will, I highlight the video and the audio, and I'll like do syncing 2 different audio clips up together, and it'll just like randomly the keybind won't work, and I'll go in the system or like into like preferences of keybinding, all that stuff, and it'll still be on the log, like it's still saved and everything. It just doesn't work.
That's so.
So then I'll reset the program and it magically works again. It's like little things like that. Like it happens more often than not just that specific problem, but like all the different problems that come, like just random things like that will just happen.
Yeah.
So like I don't know, it's really frustrating. So I'm like, I know Final Cut Pro is not the greatest software in the world, but like I'm looking forward to trying it out and like learning it and adding it to my like list of
repertoire.
Things. Yes, repertoire.
Where I lost my entire audio file that I had.
Hate
that.
I
was recording a song. I was recording a song for Logan, and it was like 4 hours of work, and like just in between the spans of when I went to go talk to some guy, and I was recording something, like my entire Reaper just crashed.
Oh,
lost it.
Reaper's sweet.
I love it.
We tried Reaper once, and it was great, but we only had a trial, so we never ended up getting it again.
Dude, a lot of audio professionals are going to Reaper, believe it or not. Like they're ditching Logic Pro, they're ditching Pro Tools and like all these,
big,
yeah, and like go on the Reaper. I really want to try it out. It's like Enrique, you talk about it a lot. And
yeah, there's a free trial you can do, I think, for like 30 days.
Yeah.
But then like here's the cool thing: even after the 30 days, you can still use it because they won't charge you and they won't cancel your subscription or anything. Because
really?
So it's kind of like WinRAR.
Yeah,
do you guys know WinRAR?
Yeah.
Huh.
You can
Interesting.
I think
I didn't know that WinRAR you had to pay for. Because I don't know. I just like buy it, or I just get it and it just like stays on there. That's
yeah,
sweet.
I've never had a problem with that. Like it's always like, oh, you should upgrade today, and like you still have
You just X out and you're going.
access.
That's
Yeah,
funny. I didn't even notice that. I've never even noticed that. Huh.
I don't know like what the deal is with that, but hey, the program still works. I mean,
Yeah, we'll take it.
Yeah.
Good with that. That's funny.
I think with Reaper, the interface is just easier to understand.
Yeah, I mean, like literally, we recorded that girl's album or the EP with Reaper, and we downloaded it that day, and then recorded all the songs, and it like there was no learning curve. It was because they all. I mean, I guess they're all kind of similar, but it was just straight up. You just do it.
I think all DAWs have a learning curve of some extent. Like Logic Pro, for example, since I was talking about that a second ago. I bought that. There's a very large learning curve of that. Like you can, if you know how to use GarageBand, which is like a really easy learning curve, you can do all the same thing in GarageBand that you can in Logic Pro. But there's like, literally like, if this is like where Logic Pro is like super low, like going, to the ceiling basically, or not Logic Pro, sorry, the GarageBand being really low and like going to the ceiling, like above the ceiling is kind of like what Logic Pro can do. So it's one of those things. It's like in Pro Tools. I haven't used Pro Tools personally, but I've heard there's a very large learning curve to it.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, essentially, it all depends on what you're doing, obviously. But like, they all can do. I think they're all good for certain things, and just really what your preference is at the end of the day.
Yeah, I would say like with Windows. I mean, not Windows. With Mac, when you switch to Mac, there's almost like a learning plateau that you like have to get up to the Mac level, and then you have the learning curve. And it's like with iMovie. I did iMovie for a little bit before I had Premiere.
Mm.
And it's like a kid, like, because I went from Sony Vegas to iMovie then to Premiere, and it's like they're completely different things because they just go at it a different way. But like that's kind of how Logic Pro is, and I've never used Pro Tools, but yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yes, that could go into like, there's just so many softwares out there. There's really no right one. It's just kind of which one you start with.
Like there's people who make like master songs on GarageBand.
Yeah,
it works for them. Like there's like tools on GarageBand that you can mix and master songs and make them sound a certain way.
Yeah.
So like,
and it depends on what you need too. Like you said, like for podcasts, I just use Audacity because I don't have to do anything. It's just it's really just recording and exporting.
Yeah. So like,
GarageBand's also gotten better over time. Like you can do GarageBand on your phone now.
Yeah.
That's how easy it is.
That's crazy. And like you can do Logic Pro on your phone now too. I'm pretty sure you can do. Oh man, I was thinking of this. There's a plugin within Logic Pro called Alchemy. It's a synthesizer, and Apple had basically bought out this company that had Alchemy, and they put Alchemy and some other products from this company on Logic Pro, and they released an app that was literally on an iPad that is the whole entire synthesizer app, like or plugin as an app, and you literally can just like through a MIDI plug it into your like MIDI controller of some sort, your MIDI keyboard, and play sounds off of it. Kind of like Main Stage 3 or like Ableton.
Yeah.
Yeah, kind of like those programs, but like literally it's just like from your iPad through the synthesis app, plug it in and play. It's just like
it's crazy what you can do. Yeah, like I mean like Lance has a he has a MIDI keyboard just like a little one, and then he's got his iPad for more like the drum pad kind of stuff. It's like it's so easy, and then he just goes to the it's dope. What was that?
I don't know.
A little bit of feedback action.
Probably aliens.
Gotta be.
Enrique, are you getting zapped right now? Are you good?
I also hear the feedback, but I don't know where it's coming from.
I can't tell.
Oh, man.
I'm trying to move. No, I think I don't know. Maybe it's just a bug. That's sweet.
Like I said, aliens.
It's got. I mean, probably. Let's see. So, goals. Where do we start? I don't even remember what we started with. What we want to do.
Right.
Yeah, pretty much.
What would you say is your peak? Like, this is where I want to be. Not even a peak. I don't like the word peak because I think that you can always be doing stuff. But like, what's your like ultimate goal? Either of you.
Personally speaking, I don't know if I necessarily have like a end goal. It's kind of one of those things. It's like I have things set in mind, and once I achieve those, it's kind of like, okay, well, what do I do next? And then I kind of figure it out from there. But for example, a big dream of mine I had was when I was younger, I wanted to march drum corps.
Yes.
And I wanted to march in Lucas Oil Stadium at DCI World Finals. while I never actually performed in like world-class finals, in 2014 I was in a drum. Well, I was in drum corps 2014 and 15. But 2014, long story short, we made it to Indianapolis and we performed in prelims in Indianapolis. So like that was Lucas Oil Stadium.
Yeah.
That's the Colts football stadium. It's really huge.
Gigantic.
Yeah, it's like you walk in through the tunnel and you see like mass. It's really humbling.
That's
but like after that, I kind of had, well, to back up, when I was a young kid, I had aspirations of learning how to play drum set and eventually, like, the easiest way to say it would be like be a rock star kind of thing. Which, not exactly a rock star, but like, anyways, after I had marched in Lucas Oil and I had marched in University of Dayton Arena, which is like for a different thing, I kind of put my mind more on, after I would age out, because there's like an age limit in drum corps. It's 21, 22, depending on the DCA or DCI and WGI and your birthday where it falls. But after it aged out, I really wanted to take a time to pursue my drum set ability and that kind of thing, and songwriting. And so now I'm kind of in that stage of my life where I am doing all the things I need to get better, like build my chops for songwriting. I mean, I'm even trying to like learn how to sing now and get better. My fiance is a great singer, and she is actually a music minor, so
nice.
I'll probably be working with her a little bit and
duoing up.
Yeah, and like that kind of thing, and really just pushing myself out of my comfort zone. Like, I'm not a singer. I don't consider myself to be a singer, at least. But it's one of those things that, like, being able to do that and play drums is like kind of a goal for me, and like sing and play drums would be a great thing to be able to do. So like those are like small goals, but like big picture kind of thing. I would ultimately really just love to go on tour.
Yeah.
No matter how like crappy the tour is or how great the tour is, like, I mean, yeah, world tour would be cool. I'm not like thinking that big, honestly, right now. But like as far as like a big goal of mine, I want to go on tour with a band and play for people, play for music and share my passion and love for music.
That'd be
and like just all around the world.
Yes.
So like that's kind of where, I mean, that's one of the big goals I have, and another one is really just like a kind of a different track is doing sound design, and I would love to eventually make sound design for AAA video games.
Ooh.
Wow. I'm pretty behind in that right now. Like, not necessarily behind. Behind's not really the best word for it. I basically found my passion for sound when I was doing video production in college, and I actually had to do a sound design scape, a whole entire like environment soundscape for a project, a horror film that I had made, and I had to go through and do Foley and like, literally everything, like the whole shebang. And doing that like floored me into like, this is really cool. I would love to do sound, but I'm too far into my major to switch now. So that's another thing. It's like I'm in this brand new stage of my life too, where like not only is all this music things I just talked about, like those are goals of mine, but now like also getting started making a sound library, getting the equipment, doing like taking like video games and like taking all the audio away and doing it myself, like those kind of things, those are now in the picture for me. So it's very much like I'm in the very small stages, like the starting out points for all these different things, and it's really exciting and also terrifying. But because of that, it gives me hope to actually pursue these things now, because I have this open canvas to do all these different things.
Yeah.
So long story short, that's kind of where my goals are set at in the moment. You ask me in a year from now, they might be changed based on what's happened in my life, but like that's kind of where I see the big ultimate dream.
Yeah, I think that we're all kind of in the same boat of like we have these goals, but we also enjoy the branching. So like in a year it might be different. I think that yeah. Yes, that's sweet though. That'd be so sweet. Sound design is impossible. It's so difficult.
Oh, it's so fun, that man. It's like making music. It's like making music. We're taking real life things. Like, for example, there's this guy named Akash Takar.
That sounds so familiar.
He made there's this game called I think it's Hyperlight 3. I might have butchered that. I don't remember. I haven't played the game specifically, but it's actually gotten quite a bit of hype over the last year. But he won a lot of awards for the sound design. But even if you're not a sound designer, you have zero interest in sound, I would suggest going and looking him up. He's done TED Talks before.
I think that might be where I heard it. It was a TED Talk.
Yeah, I think he's done like 3 or 4 of them. He's done like TEDx and he's done TED Talks. But it's AKKASH. Takar. I'm not even gonna try to spell that, but like
I bet it's TAKAAR.
I think it has an H. It's like THAAKKAR. I think. If you search that, they'll come up with Akash Takar. Yeah. But he has been a great. We were talking about mentors earlier. He has become a great mentor like character to me, like a one-dimensional. Like I'm not interacting with him, so like he's like a one-way like mentor, because he really just like posts great or like discusses great content, and like he does all these different TED Talks and stuff, and talks about like he does talk about sound design, but it's like about life too. It's really about like achieving goals and like all these different things, like how to be a good freelancer. Like we're freelancers pretty much. Like that's how I would describe us. We're freelancers.
Yeah.
He talks about how to be successful doing that and like all these different things, and I'm just like he's been a really good example for all these different things, especially for sound design. The reason I brought him up was because he actually for this Hyperlight Drifter, actually I believe is what it is called. For this game, he made a sword like coming out of the little, I don't know what it's called, but like the thing on the hip that you pull the sword out of.
Like the sheath.
Yeah, sure.
Just kidding.
he made a sound effect for that, and he used, I think it was 12 to 15 different sounds just for that one sound. So you layer all of them together, put effects on different things, and it's really freaking cool.
That's so
it's really cool,
dude. It's crazy what you can do. Have you ever heard of Peter McKinnon?
I have not. I'll have to look him up.
He did this thing with this one guy. I don't know who was doing it, but they were collabing, and they did all these sound effects using only their mouth, and it was ridiculous, the kind of layers that they could make to like turn it out to be what it was. It was wild.
I think I have heard of this guy actually.
Peter McKinnon. McKinnon, I think. But he's great.
I'll have to look him up.
He's another YouTuber, but he does more like adventure stuff, but he just had this one video where it was... Dude, yeah, sound design is... And that's another one where it really just comes down to the creator. Like, you can make anything...
Yep.
Like how like a lightsaber sound was like a TV antenna, like interacting with the thing. Like, so many things can...
Talk about great sound design. Look up...
Apocalypse Now.
I haven't actually seen that.
But... I haven't seen it either. That's just what we learned in our sound design class.
Look up. I don't know what that was, but I'm gonna go check.
Okay.
But in the meantime, look up Wally's sound. Ben
Burtt. Oh, yeah.
Wally.
Yeah.
It's incredible.
Yes.
I'll be right back.
Okay. I can't remember the question that we asked Logan. What's your like big aspiration? Also, I kind of feel like it should be. Well, no, that'll be another question. Like, what do you want to? Do you have a job right now? Like a separate, like an actual paying job, and then you do like your own thing?
Yeah, I have 2 jobs that I work that actually make money, and then this, which I got paid. Maybe the last time I got paid to like do graphic design or play a song or whatever, like maybe $50,
Yeah.
But that was like months ago. But aspirations, God, that's a big one.
It's huge.
For me, it's not so much like I don't want to just do music. Not to say that I don't love it. It's what I'm studying, and I'm studying it because I love music.
Right.
But what I don't want to do is hold myself to just one standard, and I feel like just creating things and putting it out there really helps me stay intact. Because I do like just making whatever, even if it's just music or video, or like me and Logan were talking about this summer we would start our own radio drama and bring that back.
I cannot wait for that.
I think just making whatever really just helps with that. And like, of course I love to make music, and that would probably be my primary thing, but maybe down the line, I don't know, just probably tour a lot. I would love to tour and go across this great nation of ours.
This great nation. That'd be sweet. Dude, touring would be so sweet.
I've never been West Coast, so anywhere West Coast.
Yeah, same.
Huh. That would be sweet. And it's so weird with the internet. You can have like a big population in like Phoenix, Arizona all of a sudden. Just like somehow one guy hears your stuff and then passes it around and just like you get a little small demographic right there, and the internet's weird.
There's a band that me and Logan really like, and a lot of band members too, called Wolfpack.
Yeah.
And they have a very niche like internet following that, like, if you had not known what they're about or what they do, it'd be kind of weird, their type of humor and how they perform on stage.
Yeah.
But, like, if you did know, then you would understand like the jokes and the nuances and how like the absurd humor they put that inside their show. But it's like, it's really weird how they came of age, because like they had a weird niche internet thing where the whole joke was that they were a German backup instrumentalist band. But in reality, they're just 4 guys from Michigan University that got together and make music. Right?
That's awesome.
Fun fact, like, they actually had a song in the Super Bowl, or in a Super Bowl commercial.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Commercial.
I remember y'all sent me one of their, or you sent me one of their songs, and I listened through like their top ones.
Yeah.
That's sweet. They've got their own sound too, which is tough.
They're incredible.
They've worked with like some of the highest regards of musicians. Like they've worked with Bernard Purdy, and they just worked with Bootsy Collins on a track. So they're doing really good for themselves.
That's sweet.
And Antoine Stanley, who isn't necessarily part of Wolfpack, but he like performs a lot with them. He has an angelic voice. Oh my gosh. He's Bailey. The song that I sent you was called 1612, if I remember correctly.
Yeah.
That's Antoine Stanley.
Oh, okay.
Oh my.
That's so sweet, dude. Yeah.
That's so good.
That was a sweet song. I put it in a playlist for a friend.
Whew.
Dude,
that's
making
like one of my favorite songs.
That's sweet. Yeah, dude. Oh. So, let's see. So, all right. So y'all are both. You're gonna be in Richmond. I mean, not Richmond. In Charlotte, and then y'all will both be in Charlotte then. And y'all like so. Enrique was saying that this summer y'all are gonna be like focusing more on music. Are you trying to get some little like city shows?
Oh, I would absolutely love that.
Oh, that'd be so sweet.
That's something
I would love for this band to actually get paid for what we do, instead of like live or open mics. I'd love to get some type of revenue for doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah. I kind of, for me personally, that goes back to the whole thing we first started this whole podcast out with, about, I was talking about Adam Ivy, and how he was saying that like the next step for us and Enrique, I'm pretty sure we're on the same page with this, is just getting out there, making new content, and like having content to put out there. That's the next big stage for us. Like, yes, we need to post, we need to get in gigs and stuff. Like having content to play at gigs, like more content than we have. Like we have plenty of content to play, but like original stuff and a mixture stuff. Like we've been doing all this stuff, but like the next step is actually going through with it all and doing it. Would you agree with that, Enrique?
Yeah, even if it's like just, because what I just don't want this to be is like we update our Facebook page and it's just like update, we're doing stuff, and it's just like updates of just the same thing, like, hey, we're still doing stuff, and next week it's like we're still doing the stuff that we said, like I would like for us to follow through with some goals, maybe put out a song, or even like maybe just rough stuff too, like hey, here's an idea that we had, what do you guys think of it, like that way you get fan engagement, at the same time they understand that you're working on something and they see the progress over time.
Yes.
Yeah.
You could bring in the visual aspect and just like throw in little like, hey, we're working on a song, and like maybe like a picture, like a little studio, do some live streams of y'all working on stuff. I don't know. There's
for sure,
ample opportunity.
So the great news, the biggest reason why we have been, I don't want to say stagnant because we have not been stagnant, but the reason why we haven't been as active as we all desire, we have a guy who goes to school in Asheville, North Carolina. I go to school in, or went to school in Lynchburg, Virginia. I mean, I have my last finals are all tomorrow, so I guess I still kind of go. And then, the other guys are living in Charlotte. There's 3 other guys living in Charlotte, so it's like we have a divide in location.
Yeah.
There's feedback again.
Getting electrocuted.
Location
is definitely a hindrance.
When you're like, okay, there's a band called Snarky Puppy, for example.
Ooh.
Look them up if you haven't heard them. They're a jazz fusion band, really freaking good. But they have like 40 people in that ensemble, and like there's people from, like, there's a guy in the United Kingdom. They're based out of New York. It's like there's a guy who plays for them, he lives in the United Kingdom, and there's people from Texas, there's people from California. Like that, one of their saxophone players lives in LA.
Dang.
And like, so literally, like, here is, you know, Bob Reynolds, like the saxophone player, chilling over here, and here's like Michael League, like the band leader, like where Snarky Puppy is located out in New York. So it's like, that's literally like, you know, so far away from each other, but like they manage it because they have that, you know, that base. They have everything, you know, set out. For us, you know, we're a small band. We're still like getting established. Like, we can't really do as much as we want to unless we're all together. So like, it's gonna be huge that now that we're all here with the ambition that we have to like push forward and like, you know, actually do stuff this summer. Like, I'm really personally excited about that.
So is it 5 people in the band, or is it 6?
It's pretty much 5. Yeah.
Supposed to be 5. Technically 4.
Oh.
There's one guy who's like bass player, but he also like works for the city of Charlotte.
He's very busy, so it's kind of one of those things that like we use him when we can.
Yeah. Huh.
But I actually talked to him about we're planning on doing a horn section actually, and he actually was my seat partner in drum corps, and that's how I got to know him really well. What that means basically is when you tour in drum corps, you are on a charter bus, and you have to have somebody who sits next to you, like, so he's like your seat partner.
Yeah.
So we get to know each other very well. But we're actually transitioning into making a horn line, and he's going to be like the center for that horn line. So we're making changes. So like the number of our band, basically, I guess what I'm saying right now is kind of obsolete in the sense of like, we're still looking for people to play in our brass section. We're still, you know, we're trying to make content for our brass section.
Yeah. So
you know, see what I'm saying? Like,
I think that y'all could benefit greatly from each of y'all having your own kind of perspective on everything, because like I know nothing about like any of like fusion. Like I don't know any, like, so like just like going out and even on like your own personal like Instagram, or if you make a YouTube channel, you can just do little updates or talk about what you're doing to kind of explain and get like the human level aside from the like what you're creating. That's kind of, people can read how they want to. You can do your own take on it, and it becomes like a more personal level as opposed to the, you know what I'm saying? Like, cause like I mean, like I have no knowledge of any of this stuff, but like if y'all had like a, I don't know, some explanation, or like if y'all had a band Facebook page, I was like, hey, like you could have little personal bios, like, hey, I'm the drummer and I play the drums. And
I see what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, that's just, I don't know. I mean, that's just coming from a point of view who I literally, my knowledge is so limited. I don't know.
You're hired.
What'd you say?
That you're hired.
I'm in. Yes.
All right, you're our new band manager.
I'll do it.
Band manager, marketing extraordinaire. We got Bayfield.
Dude,
I'm down.
So,
I'm down.
What I want to do with Quiet Wave is have it as a multimedia platform. Like our website right now has like video. I don't even know. Like video, music, photo, design. I don't remember what it is, but I want to have almost like a record label for everything. So like a record label for video creation, record label for music creation, record label for individual like designers. But like it would be less of a, hey, we're your record label and we're taking most of your revenue kind of thing. It'd be more of a, we want to be like a community of, like right now it's really just like if you go to the team section, we've got Emma Stanfield, who is she does acoustic singer-songwriter music, kind of like Ed Sheeran-esque. And then we've got another kid named, his name's Spencer something, but his rap name is Clout. So we've got a rapper and a acoustic musician. Voila. Musician. She does, so like having the two separate things, like kind of being like a community of, like you don't have to have all acoustic on this record. It's like more of like a expanding your horizons kind of thing.
Right. What is the like the website name?
TheQuietWave.com.
The Quiet Wave. Is it like all one, like that's the URL?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
With the in the front of it. The Quiet Wave. But it would be like Quiet Wave Entertainment is the umbrella, and then we've got like Quiet Wave Records, Quiet Wave Gaming is another one that we have. But with the goal of it being community based as opposed to revenue based.
Right. That's pretty cool.
But we'll see what happens. It's really right now. I assume for a while it's just going to be a beta thing, but I'd love for it to take off.
Yeah, I didn't realize. Like, I had known about Quiet Wave from that conversation you and I had on the bus that one time, like 2 years ago, about how you're like, oh yeah, man, I'm starting up a T-shirt brand and stuff. Like, and like I follow the Instagram channel, but like I didn't realize it was like so much more beyond like just clothing. That's really cool.
Yeah. So and right now it's more like when Lance and I do our freelance stuff, we put Quiet Wave as the name, and it's like we want to LLC it, but that comes in the future. But right now, any revenue that we make is all shirts. Like all the stuff in the back is just blank shirts and press stuff.
It's pretty sweet, yeah.
I think that because shirt seems like the mediator where like shirts aren't ever gonna go out of style.
Right. Gotta wear them.
And that's like I call it the walking billboard. Especially like I'll go on Instagram every now and then and like check our followers and see like who's on there, and I'll randomly just find somebody and ask them if they'll take pictures with our shirts, and we'll post them because it's a win-win. Like they got free stuff and we get like another person wearing it, and it's fun.
Yeah.
Have you ever had anybody big, maybe some type of, I don't know, not like a celebrity, but maybe even like a small little Instagram star?
We had this one kid on YouTube that, have you ever heard of the FaZe Clan? They're like a bunch of gamers. I had never heard of them before, but I knew that they were big. And they had this one kid that lives in an apartment complex next to us. So we went and like left a bunch of shirts on his car, which is probably weird, but he like Snapchatted it and it was sweet. But I think he's got like 1 million subscribers now. But it was just I've been going through and I'll find people with under 10,000, but like a sufficient amount of followers, and just see if they want to. But I don't know. It's a work in progress. It's fun to just learn about it.
All right, so here's what's gonna happen. Bailey's gonna become our new band manager.
Let's do it.
And we're all gonna rock Quiet Wave T-shirts every time we go on stage.
Yes, let me know. Dude, I'll hook y'all all up. Send me addresses.
We should do that.
All right, it's happening 2018.
Yes.
Remember the time, the date.
Does it come in Heathers?
Yeah. Does it come in Heathers? Dude, Heather's my favorite. Pretty much everything is a Heathered. Yeah. We've got quietwavestore.com if you want to go and peep.
I'm looking at it right this second.
And on the Quiet Wave, you can go to clothing and click find store. There's also something on there called Free for Lego. That was a inside joke sort of. But
fanny packs, yo. We can all get fanny packs.
The fanny pack.
packs?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, dude.
Let me show you. Hold on. I'm wrapped up.
Oh, snap.
So the fanny packs.
Right there, too.
Holy smokes.
Welcome to the fanny pack. Dude, this is some high quality content too. Like I was just kind of messing around and I just got one. And like, shoot, this is actually kind of sweet. Comfort colors. Hold all your goodies. $15 on the Quiet Wave store. It comes in khaki as well.
Oh man, dude, I need to get one of these.
There's a lot of stuff like, since we're mainly like we know most of our clientele, we do a lot of like, if somebody wants the design on like an orange shirt, even though it's not in the store, they'll just be like, hey, I kind of want an orange shirt with the design. We'll just hook you up. Like the khaki fanny pack's not on the website, but it's a real thing.
Yeah, I really like the logo shirts, like that have the wave on them.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're really cool. Or like the QW. What is that exactly? Like Sky T, like QW.
The QW is just the Quiet Wave, just the abbreviation. Which,
wow, I'm dumb. That makes
that design came from, we had these, it used to be QWSR, which was Quiet Wave Shirt Republic, but then we took off the Shirt Republic, but we still had all these prints that we could use, and I was like, well, let's try to come up with something, so I cut off and did QW and then exclamation mark because I had extra ink. But
is that Helvetica, just the ones with the words on it?
Yes. It's Helvetica New, because Helvetica is a copyright font.
Really?
Yeah.
The only reason I knew that was because I took one semester of graphic design.
Sweet.
And I was like, I can kind of tell that.
We've got stickers that say Helvetica is cool, and that's one of our things.
That's amazing.
So
legit. You do have a sticker pack.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, let's pull it up. Anybody who's watching that wants to see the Quiet Wave.
Yeah, I love that Havoc. It is cool. I'm about to buy that sticker. Just like get like 30 of them and put them all over my truck.
Heck yes. Go on my computer.
No, I probably won't do that. I'll be honest.
No, yeah, they're weird on a car, I will say, because they're kind of small. I have one in my car because I feel like I have to.
Yeah, that's understandable.
And I've also got a Prius, so if that says anything about my character. I'm just kidding.
Hey man, you gotta do what you gotta do.
You got to.
You
Dude, 43 miles per gallon, I can't complain.
Whew, I get like 12, so I mean.
that was really the selling point. I was like, all right, because my car was like kind of done, and I was like, I need a new car. And I'm like, my mom has a Prius. She buys gas like once a month. I'm down.
Oh my gosh.
Dude, it's a 10-gallon tank, and I get $4.50 on a tank.
Dude, my truck, it's a 99 Dodge Dakota, 5.8 liter engine.
Yes.
It like literally is $40 to fill the tank. It's an 18-gallon tank.
Oh my Lanta.
And I probably, depending on how much I drive, put it this way. I have had to go back to Charlotte. I have had to go back to Charlotte at least 6 times in the last three or 4 weeks.
Oh my gosh.
That is 198 miles minimum of driving. And it takes a little over half a tank of gas to get back to just to Charlotte from Fort Worth or Lynchburg. I usually put 20 in per trip. So like, cause I don't want, just drop 40 unless I'm like in the location for it. Because I'll have like half a tank and I'll fill up and then like, I'll go there and use half,
Yeah.
come back, it'll like be a half a tank used. And, so I'm dropping like $60 a trip. Like, I have literally like all the money I have earned from my job over the last month has all gone to gas in my truck. I probably have spent like over $200 on gas over the last month and a half.
Oh my gosh. Dude,
I
had it easy with being in Richmond and going to Lynchburg or going to Liberty because it was like an hour and a half drive, and I would do it like in the week. I pretty much came home every single weekend to like film stuff, but it was no. How long is it to Charlotte? Like 3 hours?
Depends where you're going. Yeah, it's like the tip. Yeah. If you're using like a Q-tip, it may be like about a week or two. But if you're using like
we're talking transporter portals.
Yeah.
Like 11 seconds.
Yeah, like on average, it's probably like a little over. Actually, it's probably closest to 3 hours. That's the best way to describe it. It depends where you're going. Like my brother, where I'm currently living, is like on the bottom half of Charlotte, so it's like I have to go to the interstate and then drive around the interstate and go to like the location within that, and it's then you get off the interstate and you drive on back roads and stuff to get to the house. So it's like it's roughly 3:30 to get to that house.
Dang.
So it's nice. I have a place to live. I'm excited.
Yeah, it's a hike, but it's legit. It's there.
I mean, I have to do it like one more time, maybe 2 more times at the least.
Are you driving home and then coming back for graduation?
No, my graduation is a week from yesterday, so it's 6 days before graduation, and I'm staying here because I have things to sell.
Nice.
Which everything. I mean, this room's very empty right now compared to what it has been, minus the crap on the floor behind me. But yeah, I have way too much clothes. Long story short, my dad sold the house I've lived in since I was a child. So everything I've owned in my life has come to this location.
Nice.
So I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff, but I have way more, like too much stuff to get rid of still.
I feel that.
So I'm trying to get everything back. But luckily, like family and friends are coming up here for graduation, so I can send some stuff home with them. But I'm trying to like do it like one and done, like one more trip and I'm done.
Yeah. Yes.
So if that's gonna happen, I couldn't tell you, but yeah.
Fun fact: I lived in Charlotte for 2.5 years when I was like.
Really?
Yeah, I was like 10 to 13, I think.
Wow, dude. What part of Charlotte?
Mooresville. I was in Mooresville at first, and then I moved to Huntersville.
Okay, so I'm in a different part of Charlotte than that, or I was rather. I used to be in like the Stallings Matthews area, which is east side of Charlotte.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah, I don't live there anymore, but like that's kind of crazy. I didn't know that.
That's how I knew like Piedmont, Central Piedmont. I had a couple friends that graduated there.
Okay.
That's sweet.
Nice.
Nice.
Yeah, man.
It was nice. It was a nice area. And Have you ever heard of Mr. Beast on YouTube?
Actually, yes, I believe. I couldn't pinpoint it, but I think I've heard the name.
He does like, the best way to describe him is he's like MythBusters. He'll say like, how many rolls of duct tape does it take to stop a car? Like all these random things. But he came and surprised my friend for a video, and
Wait, is this the guy that you recently did work for?
yeah, and he was in Greenville, so like
North Carolina?
yeah, Greenville,
Okay.
North Carolina, which I didn't even. First of all, I didn't even know that existed, and I applied to ECU, so like I would have thought that maybe that would have made sense, but I didn't. But so like I did that. I did an internship there, and I was there for a week, and it was a nice little area. I like North Carolina. It's not. It's as close as it is to Virginia. They're completely different.
Mm-hmm. Yes, very much. Like, it's like the second you cross over the border, it's just like completely different atmosphere. It's really weird.
Yeah, I mean, so I grew up in Alabama, which is like the South, and everybody still tries to call Virginia the South, which I guess like the Mason-Dixon line I think is still makes us the South, but it's not. Like it's not the same.
Yeah, I agree.
But yeah, and then North Carolina is just everybody's nice, but it's not. It doesn't feel like the South, but everybody's nice.
Ooh, no, that depends where you're at in North Carolina.
I guess so.
I've met some pretty mean people, to say the least.
You could say that about everywhere. So like on a scale of like 1 to 10, North Carolina is like a 7.5 niceness. Virginia is like a 4.
See, when you're in Lynchburg, it's a little different. Like Lynchburg's super nice.
Well, that's because Liberty eats it.
Yeah, exactly. You go up north and it's just like,
Get out of here.
Washington D.C. It's hell politics. Like
Norfolk.
Like
Northern
you go
Virginia.
like Charlotte, and it's like business heads. So it's kind of the same idea. Like you meet a lot of people who are just hustle bustle. I'm gonna run you off the road, kind of thing, or I don't care about you as a person. But
yeah. Let me do my
I
thing.
mean, like I've been to Chicago like multiple times, and every time I've gone to Chicago, I've met like very nice people there. So it's like. But Chicago is not known to be a city of nice people.
Yeah.
So it really is like.
Depends on your social circles.
Yeah, I guess so.
Social circus.
That kind of stuff. Circus.
It's me juggling.
Juggling life.
Just juggling life. Were you there for the convocation with the professional juggler that had a doctorate in juggling?
Yes, he's been back like 2 or 3 times. He actually came to a basketball. Actually, no, this is a different guy, I think. A guy came. He's like a professional juggler, and he threw out like these like super cool frisbees. I think it's actually. I won't waste time looking for it, but like, I was playing drum set for the pep band. Like I was on like the floor, and he threw it over the pep band, and I caught it. And like I have this like super nice ultimate frisbee disc now. He was like juggling all days. Like they're like heavy duty. Like it was literally like throwing them out and like around him, like all around him, different angles, and like catching them all at different times. It was like this guy's amazing.
That's so sweet. Dude, he was one of my favorite. If it was the same guy, he was one of my favorites because it was, I don't know. Anyway, that's besides the point. He was sweet. Bottom line, he was like from Stockholm, Sweden.
Really? Man. Swedish people. I don't know any.
PewDiePie. That's about it.
Yeah, fun fact, Enrique is actually Swedish.
No way. Convince me.
Fun fact. No, I'm not.
Similar fun fact.
Enrique is actually Russian.
Wait, no, that's not true. Hello, my friend. That's awesome. How did we get here? It's questions where I'm like, how did we get here?
I'll tell you how we got here. It's 11:56 p.m. at night.
Got that right.
I'll tell you how we got here, but I don't think you want to actually hear it.
When a mother loves a father.
Aliens.
Aliens.
Flat Earth. Aliens.
The Earth is flat.
Flat aliens.
Fake news. Flat aliens. We've made it.
We're all flat.
We're all just Paper Marios walking this earth.
We turn sideways. We're not there. It's all an illusion.
Wild.
No such thing as 3D.
Unless you're watching a real D movie.
I know.
James Not Franco approves.
James Not Franco approves.
Can I? How did you get a name? Because all I got was the guest edit.
Just click guest, click your name, and it says tell people who you are. So for example, I can type Enrique, and now I'm Enrique.
Oh, I've got an account and it doesn't let me change mine.
That sucks for you.
Dude, I know.
Oh yeah.
right, there's mine.
Not Bayfield or Enrique. Whoa.
Because look, just think about it. They're gonna look at the names on the actual monitors. Yours is Bayfield 4. His is maybe Enrique. Oh, now I gotta change it again.
Not
No,
Bayfield, maybe not Enrique.
If you want.
Art's subjective.
If you wanted to. Oh, wow. Wow. Thinking deep.
And man, late night conversations about
There we go.
subjectivity in names.
The Republic of China. We've had him.
I respect it.
What was I gonna say? I can't remember.
Giant rings.
Hold on. Is
Giant
your shirts are your shirts made in China? Do you know where they're made?
They're Gildan, which is Indonesia, Honduras, and India, I believe. I emailed. So there was somebody that asked me if it was like sweatshop clothing, and I emailed them, and Gildan's not. So if that's something that you're concerned with, Gildan provides jobs.
We're gonna find it on the news.
Gildan.
Feel that mates. Sweatshops.
Sweatshops.
Local
Gildan?
freelancer.
It's been brought to attention and wasn't even in attention for most people. But now we know. That's
Oh
funny.
my gosh.
My
Man.
guitar is made in Indonesia, so
Ibanez?
no, it's a Fender Strat,
Strat.
Squire Strat.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you show it to us right now?
No, I can't.
He remains
I could-
anonymous.
Okay. Actually, you know what's really cool? I tried this out the other day. I was playing video games with some friends, and I was using the BattleNet app to talk to them because that's what we were using.
Mhm.
And in the BattleNet app, you can set your microphone and your headphone, or your microphone, your input and your output to two different things. Like your microphone, or one could be the headphone jack, or one could be whatever. Like it picks up both outputs and inputs for both options.
Yes.
Huh.
So what was really cool is like I could plug anything into my interface on input 2 on my interface, and they would hear both what's coming out of the mic and the direct signal of whatever I was plugging into.
Ooh.
So I plugged in my guitar, and I plugged in like my sister's keyboard, and they could hear that too.
That's sweet. Do you have a Behringer, like the little box one?
No.
Focusrite, right?
It's a Focusrite 2i2.
Ooh.
Dude, Enrique, could you actually play us something right now?
Yeah. Well, actually, no, I can't because my dad's in the other room.
Fair.
Oh,
But
fair.
I would totally do it because the input line is ready to go.
Next time.
Yeah, next time you'll have a special guest of Enrique playing romantic songs from the 70s.
Special music guest tonight on Saturday Night Live. Enrique.
Except it's Sunday.
Sunday Night Live. Sunday Night Football. Sunday Night Football Live with Enrique.
Saturday Night Football, Friday, Monday, Tuesday, ice cream cuts.
Football night Sunday. Here with Enrique, live music Sunday.
On Saturday. On Sunday. There's a guy that I listen. Have you ever heard of the comedian Bill Burr?
Yeah.
Yes.
He has a podcast, and he calls it the Thursday morning just after Friday, or like it's like this whole long thing. And that was what I was thinking. I listen to a lot of podcasts. I don't watch TV like ever anymore. I listen to like strictly podcasts. It's weird. It's like a loophole. I don't know what happened.
It's almost like you make one or something.
That's true. I want to learn. I want to learn while I do it. Who do you listen to, Enrique?
I listen to a podcast. Well, I used to listen to a lot of this one called the 12-minute or 10-minute podcast.
That sounds
It
familiar.
has like it has these three comedians. One is an actor called Will Sasso.
Yeah.
Chris D'Elia, and then
And Chris D'Elia.
yeah, and I forgot the other guy. He's an older guy.
That's sweet.
But theirs is really funny because they do like little 10-minute segments of the skit, whatever they do. And I used to listen to that a lot.
I'm
The
gonna go
older
look that
episodes. The newer episodes now are like Will Sasso, and he brings in like different guests.
Huh.
But like the older episodes where it was just the three of them, those are really funny. I like those.
I'm gonna have to look
But-
that up.
Other podcasts would be like, oh God, I don't know. You know, honestly, what I do is I go to my Spotify and I just let it loop through whatever podcast goes through. So sometimes I'll get like Neil deGrasse Tyson, he'll be on. Or,
Nice.
like the Mark Maron, he'll be on there too. Just like random people.
That's sweet.
I found a really awesome podcast when I was working actually.
Is it the Bayfield podcast?
Yes.
Piece of My Mind. Check it out.
Yeah, Piece of My Mind. Gosh, I think it was called the podcast for the unstarving musician, if I remember correctly. It's a really great podcast if you're a musician, for one, because it's a guy kind of like Enrique and I who are like, trying to get into he's a little bit more seasoned than me at least. But I'm gonna make sure this is the right title. But he brings on people who are like, well known in the music industry, and he'll like talk to them and ask them questions about how they got to where they're at. And like, for example, he asked this one guy, he's the head of Modern Drummer magazine. I forget his name. But he asked him like what his morning routine was, and like basically, he gets up at like 6-7 o'clock in the morning, drinks a full glass of water, works out, and then drums before he goes to work at 9 o'clock. So it's like, something I picked up trying to do. Like, it's great. Like, there's a real life application in this too, but it's like really cool because he's talking to people who are like, he brings out special guests who are professionals in the industry, and they know what's up.
That's sweet. And so it's hyper focused too.
Yeah, it's called the Unstarving Musicians Podcast. That's what it's called.
Dope.
By Roberto R. Hernandez.
Oh, pretty. I think that might be the most common name in all of the world.
Roberto Hernandez.
That's sweet.
He's very much active. He's been doing it since July and has, I think it's like, he does at least once every week. Yeah, that's what it looks like.
Nice. Unstarving. He's unstarving.
Yes, the Unstarving Musicians Podcast.
Nice. Write that down. Write that down. Clip that. Have you listened to the H3H3 podcast or the H3 podcast?
I have not.
I watched the short segments that they put out where it's like they show little parts of the podcast afterwards.
Yeah, those are always good.
I've never watched the whole thing. I really like that one that they had where they called it just Joel Osteen Church.
Yeah. Yes.
I thought that was hilarious.
That was good, dude. They're great. I really like long podcasts, and they've got like theirs are usually like an hour and a half or 2 hours. So that's sweet. And Joe Rogan, and Bill Burr. Who else? Oh, Tiger Belly's my number one favorite. Bobby Lee.
Did you watch Pete Holmes' podcast?
No, but I know Pete Holmes.
He has a podcast. It's pretty good.
What's it called?
I think it's just the Pete Holmes podcast.
Oh, unique. I like it.
Yeah.
Pete Holmes.
How long has this one been going on?
Hour 37.
Nice, yeah.
It's pretty hefty.
Props to you watching. I have a question for everybody on the show right now.
All four of you.
All four.
All three of us.
It might actually be one because I think that if we're all on.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna ask. Like, Bailey, you're on it.
Yeah.
Enrique, are you on it?
I do have it pulled up on my second monitor.
So there's only one person. I wonder who it is. I'm pretty sure my fiance was tuned in at one point.
Dope.
My girlfriend was watching too, but I think she just texted me and said she's going to bed.
Understandable.
We outdid her.
Alex Taylor is supposed to be watching too.
Dude, I have not heard from him. That's another guy in our band, by the way.
Alex Taylor. It'll be up on.
Phenomenal songwriter.
It'll be up on iTunes, Google Play, and then two other ones I've never heard of, but
Nice.
they'll be there.
Spotify?
Spotify's not there yet, which is lame.
You have to pay.
You'll get there.
For your podcast to be on those sites.
No, so there's this app called Anchor that is like a central port where you upload it to Anchor, and then you branch it out to. It's got like 6, but I only know Google Play and iTunes, and they're trying to work on Spotify. Which as soon as that's out there, I've got like 70 that'll be put. That'll be exciting, but it's really nice.
You mentioned that this is on your iPhone, right? Is this like something you can get on? Oh, I see you can get on Google Play too. Is this like something you can get on a computer too? Like, is it like software, or is it only like an app on your phone?
Anchor has a web one. You can listen straight from Anchor too. But,
okay, nice.
I think Google Play works on a computer, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
I've never used it, and then iTunes is strictly Mac, which.
Right.
Whatever.
You don't have a Mac, do you? Or do you have a Mac?
I have a MacBook, but I use a PC for
nice.
streaming.
Gotcha. Yeah, I'm on a PC right now and have my handy dandy MacBook back here.
Dude, I spent my entire life savings on my MacBook.
They're expensive.
They're so expensive. But
are they worth it?
I think for laptops they're worth it. I don't. My friend Lance has a desktop Mac, and it's not good. It's really not great.
I used the 2015 5K Retina. Like I don't know all the names, so like if you're an Apple geek, forgive me.
I think I see it peeping in the back.
No, that is actually, there's a different story behind that. That is a Cinema D, or not Cinema D, Panasonic camera. That I'm everywhere right
Cinema
now.
D?
Hit us with the specs.
Give us the
This
specs.
monitor is a like Apple Cinema like monitor. I think that's the name of it. I might be completely wrong.
It's just a monitor?
I got that for free.
Dope.
And I don't have the adapter for it, the power adapter, so I don't know if it works. So before I do anything with it, I'm like when I actually get paid and have money
to try it out,
drop it on gas. I'm gonna try it out and see if it works or not. Just sell the adapter and get rid of the monitor. But anyways, the iMac I have at work is phenomenal.
It's okay. It is great for single purposes. Like
it's $2,000 though.
Yeah, my computer was 25. I want to eat a small child.
Wait, which one do you have? Is it a MacBook Pro? Is it a 15-inch?
It's the one with the touch bar and the whatever.
Oh, okay. What year?
2016, 2017.
Did you get it new?
So I have this friend. This is actually great. I bought pretty much anything that I own that's technology. I have this friend that has like the fear of missing out for everything Mac, so he buys it instantly. And he bought it and just never used it. I was like, hey man, you trying to let me cop? So I think he paid $3 for it. But dang. He also had a Mavic Pro drone that I bought from him for $600, and I traded him my drone. That was nice.
Dang.
But it's fun. It's hilarious. Like, he bought the 8 and had it for like 3 weeks. The iPhone 8 and had it for like 3 weeks, and then bought the 10 because he wanted both.
Whew.
It's just like,
man.
Let's make up our mind. Matt, if you're out there, I'm talking about you.
This guy is from 2015. I have paid approximately $1,000 for it.
Nice.
Still paying it off.
Oh.
It is great for certain things. I will first say that I love the operating system. I love Mac operating systems. I think it's way more efficient than Windows in a lot of different ways. But here's the kicker. Since we're talking about the operating system, like Windows is more traditional and like it works really well if you know how to use it. Like most people grow up using Windows.
Yeah.
Mac is great for the creative, like
yes.
the creative type person. So it's hyper organization basically. Like you can label things, you can put them in certain places. Like it's great, and I personally love it. Hardware wise, this thing is very upsetting to me. I just bought this computer, spent $1,000 on it. It's only a like 2.5-year-old model, and I can't even do 4K editing on it.
Oh.
It has 8 gigabytes of RAM. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. Actually, I think it has 16. But like, let me pull this up real quick. So this specific model has 8 gigabytes of RAM. It's a 2.7 Intel Core i5. And has Intel Iris Graphics 6100 on it, which is it's a gigabyte of VRAM. So it's like that's why it's bad.
Mm-hmm.
If I had at least like, I would love to upgrade the graphics card and get like something that has like 4 gigabytes or 4 or 8 gigabytes, like what you need. From my experience, at least I might be completely wrong. But that's how much like you need to like minimum do 4K, and so, like I have to do proxy servers and all this other crap for 4K editing. It's just like I'd almost rather not shoot in 4K just so I don't have to worry about that anymore.
Yeah.
But it really, I will admit that like it is disappointing that like this computer isn't 4K ready, but it is great to have this specific computer to take with me.
Yeah.
Super durable. Like I could probably throw this off my apartment and it would probably not work, but like
I could throw it pretty far and it probably wouldn't work, but most computers are like that, so
But can it play Fortnite?
But can it play Fortnite?
Okay, I was actually gonna get to this.
Yeah.
Because Macs are not known for gaming, obviously. which is it's weird because it's known for like music production and video production, all these things, which I mean, audio production not so much, but video production requires a lot of VRAM, a lot of video processing power, and even like CPU power. And it should handle that stuff kind of fine, but because my graphics card is very very bad, I actually downloaded Fortnite on my MacBook when I was in Charlotte, because like all my roommates down in Charlotte, they all heavily play Fortnite. So I was like, I play Fortnite, like I might as well see if I can download and play it on my Mac, and like whatever. I mean, I have like what I'm on right now. This whole setup is actually my gaming PC that I got, like I built like 7 years ago. And I will say this, it outperforms my Mac.
Still?
In various ways, yeah, still. And in some aspects. I won't get into that in this moment, but...
That could be another podcast, dude.
We could do so many podcasts, yeah.
Yes.
But like this computer that I'm using right now plays Fortnite like a charm. Like it plays like decent graphics. Like I need a new graphics card. Like I have the 560 Ti, the NVIDIA. Yeah. Not the greatest.
I don't even know what I have.
Do you have a you're playing on a desktop right now?
I've got an Alienware X51, but I bought it like it's pre-built.
How old is it?
7 years.
7 years.
And it's still like, it's literally it's the exact same size as an Xbox One, and it's somehow like.
I think I know what you're talking about.
It's got the panels on the side that glow, like the little slivers.
Yeah. So like excuse me. It's like I downloaded Fortnite on my Mac, right? And I load the game and like I turn all the graphics all the way down, like everything all the way down, and I get into the game, and for you guys that know, most people I'm sure listening to this knows what Fortnite is and like how it works. Like you jump off the bus and like you're skydiving. Like I was getting like less than a frame per second.
Oh
like,
my!
It was literally like skipping. And like I was just like, where am I going? And like I would follow, like I would do my best to like follow where my friends were going. And like when I landed on the ground, I was fine. I was getting 60 frames per second. Like it was running smooth, and it was great. But like the second you try to skydive, you're dead.
There's just so many things happening.
Yeah, it's
interesting.
Just process everything. So like to answer your question, okay, yes, it does play Fortnite, but is it the most optimal and great experience? No.
That's funny.
Can I watch my Jake Paul videos?
It's every day, bro, dude.
Yes.
Buy that merch. Dude, that's hilarious. Oh my, yeah. I started playing Fortnite on my Mac, but it's got the new keyboards on the Mac where it's almost like not even a button. That makes it tough. For editing it's great because your fingers never get caught on anything, which it took some getting used to, but then now it's fantastic and I edit so much faster. But
I actually don't have the touch bar on mine, but I do have this amazing keyboard right here.
Ooh.
This is gosh darn it. What is the name of this thing? Is it the Death Adder? No, I think this mouse is the Death Adder. Which is this is the Death Adder Chroma from Razer, which Overwatch edition. Actually, fun fact about this, since we're talking about products, I actually found this on eBay. This thing usually goes for about $100. This mouse, I got it for $39.99 from a guy who had a store, like a home electronics store, and he bought like 20 of them to sell, and he only sold like 12 of them. And my math's not, I don't think it was exactly 20 he got, but like he only sold like 12 or 13 of them. He's like, I have 7 left over. I'm liquidating the store. I'm going out of business. Just trying to get rid of them. So I bought one. I should have bought like more than one to sold them, but like, I got this for super cheap. And this keyboard actually I got on eBay as well. And the box is actually signed by the founder of Razer. It's like, that's unfortunately just sitting in my closet right now because I have nowhere to put it. But the keyboard itself is like, there's nothing special about it. He didn't sign this. Okay, this is a Black Widow. It's the Black Widow Chroma.
That's so
but
sweet.
This I is freaking incredible. Like I will shamefully admit that I spent $100 over this like a year and a half ago. I spent $100 on this keyboard.
Dang.
And it is well worth it. Like it's perfect for editing because it is a
that click thing. I can't remember what the click is called. The perfect click.
Yeah, it's midnight. My brain's fried. I can't think. I haven't even studied for my exams. So my brain's fried. So we're good. I'm not. Okay. Anyways, It's Enrique. Help me out. What is it called?
Right. The Republic of China.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one.
Say him by his name.
Mechanical.
Yes.
Yeah.
Wow, that's such a.
So,
anyway.
They're not like black or the cherry switches. I forget the name. Like, there's like a bunch of different switcher names, but they're Razer's version of like the cherry switcher, which is like the individual mechanic inside the keyboard that makes it mechanical. But it's just like super. It's cute. You know what I mean? Like, and plus I get like, I used to have LEDs in the back of my desk.
Yeah.
So like I have this like super nice like big workspace. You know, it's really dirty now, but like from IKEA, and you can't really see what's going on here. But anyways, like I used to have LED strips on and everything. They died. They're still there, but they died.
I got the purple.
Ooh, nice.
Rocking it back there.
Yeah, nice.
And some Logitech speakers.
I remember helping you set that up.
Oh yeah. You were. That was fun. I'm gonna buy some more once I get some more income, because it's only like $10, $15, and it's
it looked pretty cool.
Yes,
and they look sweet.
Is great.
They add to the aesthetic.
Yes.
Dude, my desk right now is one of those, like when you go to a barbecue and you've got those big giant fold tables. It's a big 6-foot fold table, just because it's just a nice size for.
Yeah, I feel you.
And I got my monitor out of a dumpster, so it's got like some nicks, but it's 1080, amazing. So it's legit.
Yeah, that's what happens when you're like our age, in college or out of college, and like
I'm more functionality over. Well, no, that's not true. Not always true. I got this mouse. I've never even heard of the brand. It's just got an R on it. But
I think I've seen those. Yeah.
I just wanted 2 buttons on the side, and it was like $10.
Oh, man.
And then my keyboard is just the one that came with my computer 9 years ago, Alienware, or 7 years ago. Legit.
All right, so we've talked about a lot of things today, and all these things, if you're breathing through this, let's see if we still have 4 viewers.
We got 5 now. My friend Bryce came in. And a coffee.
Nice.
Bryce Lane joined
What's up, Bryce? Oh,
what up, Bryce? That's the one that we did the Mr. Beast video. He came and surprised him.
Nice. Okay. Yeah. Black Widow. Yes, sir. But we've talked about computer hardware. We've covered everything. Like it's been a long podcast, and it's been really, really scatterbrained, but it's been good.
That's how I like it. I don't like if we were to talk about the same topic the whole time, like.
Right.
We got our points out.
I mean, it's been really scatterbrained because it's like super late at night, and then that's kind of what we get.
That's whatever.
Yeah, it's chill. Like it's cool. I appreciate being on here for one. So I'm publicly thanking you for letting myself and Enrique on here. So
thanks for coming. Thanks for bringing Enrique. He's been the charm,
absolutely.
What's the twinkle in my eye? Republic of China myself.
Ooh.
Mr. Bayfield or Bailey. I'm sorry, I keep calling you Bayfield.
You can call me whatever your little heart desires.
You can call
I have multiple personality disorder with my names.
Dude, call him the Republic of China / Enrique.
The Republic of China / Enrique. Thank you.
Yeah, call Bayfield that.
In all seriousness, though, I think you could probably tell that Mr. Bailey here puts a lot of work into his videos and these podcasts that he does. Like, just going through your channel, just stalking you every now and then.
I appreciate it.
It's very I'm certain that you do put a lot of work into these videos, like the small nuances that you do, like the way you put your camera. Like, what was one video you had? I was watching. You were just updating people about something, and you would film the way you were gonna set your camera up, by dragging it across like the floor and putting couches. Like, I thought like no one else would do that. They would just like put the camera on something and then film themselves.
Dude.
But like you went the extra step and filmed how you're doing everything, and I think that type of charm is lost in a lot of videos, because I mean it also gives insight to the people watching, like how you do these things, and it kind of develops a closer relationship in a sense.
Thanks, dude.
So you do a great job, Mr. Bailey. Keep it up. I
appreciate it very much. Thank you, sir. That's where I love to emphasize the human element, taking away the this is one way, like I'm talking to you. I want it more like we're all here. Let's all do this.
Absolutely.
For sure.
Yes, sir.
Let's just group hug. Group hug, everyone.
Let's just group hug.
Oh, God. There you go.
Yeah, that was the one.
It was a warm embrace. Ooh, how to focus, my guy.
I don't even know if my camera's like that.
I don't know.
I'm pretty sure it's just like autofocus, like, and it's like there's like no depth of field on this lens, so it's literally just like there's like no difference between this and this almost. It's mostly light.
So that's nice though, because it doesn't even like blur out my background, so like it's not. I don't know.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's
Same.
You can go and check out my webcam video. Oh, the Cubs! Go Cubbies!
Yeah, I have a White Sox one over there too. Long story. I'm not getting into it.
How are they doing this year?
Cubs are doing pretty well. Last I checked, they're in second place. But the whole division's kind of bad. So, White Sox they're playing very bad.
They're something.
Yeah.
Bring back Cliff Floyd. That's the only person I knew. The only person I knew.
Yeah. Bring back a lot of people.
What about the Bears, Logan? How do you see the Bears coming out this next football season?
Well, brand new staff, brand new team, pretty much. Like we don't have a lot of vets. We do have vets, but there's not a ton of like super seasoned vets, like people retired or, we have like brand new coaching staff. So I have faith that they're going to do something really great with Mitchell Trubisky, the quarterback. But it's one of those things that you really never know until the season starts. It's like we could go out there and lose every single game, or we could go out there and make the Super Bowl and win the Super Bowl. Like it's literally how it is right now. I don't see us winning the Super Bowl because I feel like there's so many teams out there that are so good or are going to be good, but I definitely see the possibility of us contending in the playoffs.
Sports update. Logan Damery.
Yes.
And now you shoot it back to Bailey. Sports update.
No, back to Bailey with the. So my dad is a Browns fan.
Ooh,
so
nice.
They had a nice little draft. I think that they could be a wild card.
Baker Mayfield, man.
Baker Mayfield. I hate him, but you gotta love him.
You want to put money on that?
No.
$2,000 right now.
I think so. I will put money on them having a better season than last year.
I agree. I fully agree.
I don't know. I'm just a fantasy football fan. I don't really have a team. I'm gonna this year. I'm gonna try to be an Oakland fan because not Oakland anymore. The Vegas, Raiders because the Golden Knights and NHL they're my team right now because they're new. Dude, they might if they win freshman year coming in that was my. So I wanted to like them because nobody can say I'm a bandwagon because I like them from literally the start. And then I was like, okay, they're Vegas. I'll stick with Vegas and go with the Vegas Raiders.
Yeah, this playoff series is pretty crazy right now.
Yeah.
We're looking at, I'm looking at the scores right now, and
they're getting
Vegas Vanguard. I'm sorry, that's a drum corps. Hold on. What? Okay, so the Golden Knights lost their first game.
4.
Are they playing right now?
I know that Tampa Bay and the Capitals are. I don't know about.
As the Capitals won. It says It's after midnight now. Okay, I see. The Capitals won both games. They beat the Lightning, which is rare because the Capitals usually choke at this round, or don't make it to this round.
Or
so they've been in the playoffs the last 5 years or more, if I remember correctly, and they always choke in the playoffs. But this year they're promising, dude. They could actually do something.
Shouts out to DC.
I want the Golden Knights to be. I mean, the Jets they kind of deserve it. It's been a long time since they've been good. So I would love to see the Jets do something, but I also want to see the Golden Knights make it to the Stanley Cup. So
really, there's a lot of any of these teams could make it.
Yeah, and the Penguins aren't in. I'm happy.
Yeah.
I'm a Blackhawks fan personally, and I'm upset that they didn't win. Or not win, but even make it to the playoffs this year. But I know a lot of NHL fans are happy they're not in it this year.
Yeah, Blackhawks and the Penguins.
Blackhawks. Yeah, I literally have a wall over here of Chicago sports stuff.
Hey.
And I have 3 Stanley Cup pictures that literally can go on my wall. And it's they're literally within 5 years. And people don't like that.
That's funny.
In the Patriots.
In the chat, Sarah's a Tampa Bay fan, and then Bryce comes in. He's a Bruins fan. But Bruins are okay. I think they're great, but.
Right.
You do you.
They kind of remind me of the Penguins in a sense, but they're nothing like
the
Penguins.
They used to be a lot more like the Penguins. They're a little less now.
So, yeah, that's understandable. The only thing I get offensive over is the Packers.
You hate the Packers?
I hate the Packers.
Oh, because you're a Bears fan. That makes sense.
Yeah.
The oldest rivalry in sports.
Yep. Like the thing with my family is it's really weird talking about sports because I grew up as a White Sox fan actually. My brother was a Cubs fan. Well, actually, he was a White Sox fan to start off in the very beginning, and then he got like 6 years old and was a Cubs fan. My other brother's a White Sox fan, and my dad is a Cardinals fan. It's like literally. Well, it turned. I actually started rooting for the Cubs when my oldest brother died. I was like, well, somebody has to root for the Cubs, so I'm gonna root for the Cubs.
Just take them both.
It happened to be the year they won the World Series. Like, my brother died in January, and obviously the World Series was later, but like that was like before the season started, and then like they go off and win the World Series in October. And I'm just like, I'm not bandwagon. I can't say that.
Yeah,
Plus, this is the cool thing. My great grandfather actually pitched for the Chicago Cubs in 1890s.
Oh my.
So like,
dope.
This is before like.
Before Wrigley Field. I'm pretty sure.
Yes, it is. Actually, is it?
I think
no,
so.
No, it is. I'm like.
Because they're 110-ish years old, and that's like 150.
I'm like pretty confident that I need to brush up on my my Chicago Cubs facts. It's been a while since I've like studied, like refreshed my yeah. I was built in 1914. Yep, but it's been a while since I've refreshed my Chicago history. But anyways,
dude, I was at Liberty for the World Series when the Cubs won. That was the most exhilarating thing ever. That was so good.
Yeah, I was at my home and I was just like so overwhelmed with different emotions because I was like, like all these right
because it was Cleveland, who's also like they're Cleveland.
78 years.
Yeah, and then there's the Cubs, who was what 104, 105 years.
It was 103.
That's ridiculous.
If I remember correctly.
Exhilaration.
Like I said, it is 12:30, so like my my brain. But.
This was good. 2 hour.
Yeah,
2 hours.
Yep, Bryce.
Bryce is a Cubs started.
Yeah, how they started out as the White Stockings. That is 100% correct.
Huh.
Yeah, because like they ended up branching off and like doing all this other stuff. But yeah.
Interesting. So
yeah, I have a book over here of like. Literally it's called
just Chicago.
I think it's backwards for you guys, but it's called Then and Now Chicago, and it has like a bunch of Chicago history.
That's sweet.
like I'm a Chicago, like literally, like if you look up here,
just a Chicago everything. Oh, there it is. Is that the flag?
Yeah, Chicago flag. So like here, like I lived in Illinois, so like I'm not just like I love Chicago. Like it's something that I kind of grew up with, and
yeah
I just eventually adapted a passion for Chicago. But like I said, it's been a while. It's been like over a year since I like brushed up on my Chicago history, so I need to like get my facts straight and then
tune
like,
it in.
Yeah,
dope.
Get that whole thing. So yeah, it's been a while.
Sweet.
Yeah, so Enrique, sports ball.
Sports ball.
Right. Throw the old pigskin, toss the golf ball. Yeah.
Field goal. Am I right, ladies?
Sweet. I only know enough American football to where I can understand when people speak about like fourth down and what's going on. Like I can understand a radio announcer, but like when they start to get into
was it a catch?
Yeah, and all that, I'm kind of just like I don't really understand it. But
yeah, this year has been rough for that.
Yeah.
This past season.
And basketball. College basketball got roasted. Like it was. Yeah.
Even like I know like Liberty didn't make it into the
tournament. UNC Asheville did.
Excuse me. Yeah, I saw that. They didn't make it into like the big tournament or anything, but like their last game was pretty. Like the Big South refs were kind of pretty crappy. I'm not gonna lie to you.
No, Radford made it.
Yes, Radford did.
Because it was Radford and UNC Asheville, and then But yeah, no,
No, Liberty actually beat UNC Asheville.
Really?
Yeah, so like it was Liberty versus UNC Asheville and Radford versus Winthrop University, and Radford versus Liberty in the finals, and Radford beat Liberty and went to the overall like March Madness tournament. It was a wild game.
I'm pretty sure they played Villanova and got mollywopped. Just ruthless.
Yep.
I got some to add. I went to school with a current he's a current third or fourth string quarterback for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Ooh.
His name is Riley Ferguson, if you want to look him up.
Riley Ferguson.
That's pretty cool. That is really pretty. That's pretty cool.
He didn't get drafted, unfortunately, but he did. He is a free agent now, and he plays for the. Tampa Bay Buccaneers. He's with them.
Nice.
Um,
Played at Memphis.
Yeah, there he is. Yeah, I'm watching it on the screen. That's him.
Nice.
He played at Memphis, but I used to sit behind him in all my classes, and I went to middle school with him. So
Nice.
he's a nice guy. His friends were kind of jerks, but he was a nice guy.
That's sweet.
Yeah. So I kind of toss that around.
I mean, it's whatever.
No, but,
I don't think I know any.
I just found that out. So I was like, oh, that's crazy. I thought everyone like my age was just like kind of like me. They were just like up in space, just like they don't know what to do. But he actually has everything down packed. And
Look at him go. And even just getting signed, like ever getting signed, is some guap. Fat stacks.
No.
That's crazy. I don't think I ever went to school with anybody. I know I had a friend that graduated from Davidson that was in classes with Steph Curry. That's all I...
Wow.
And he was on Twitter. There was a tweet of him like asleep in class, and Steph Curry took a picture and posted it on his Twitter. But it was like when he was in college. Legit. Yeah, I don't think I know anybody.
Yeah, I don't know much famous people, but like that's the one leverage I have.
That's sweet. That's the football leverage.
But like if I ever have to like start a conversation, I'll usually just be like,
you know,
a football player.
That's sweet. Third string for Tampa Bay. No big deal. That's sweet.
Mr. Bailey, I saw you got like a tattoo on your left arm.
Yes. So, I went on 2 mission trips. I went to 2 different countries. I think it's like 4 trips. But my first one was to Brazil. So I've got a Brazil tattoo, which this was the first one. So I did a diamond like the Brazil flag. But then I was like, I kind of want to get a sleeve of just diamonds that go about. So then I've got this one's Haiti, which I've been to a few times. So I got a Haiti one. And then I'm going to get, I think I'm actually going to do just a spiral that goes around. So I'm going to get Richmond in one, and then Alabama in one. I might get Charlotte, since it was I was only there for a couple years. I'm like debating it, but we'll see. It's like a passport, and then I have a bunch of
really cool.
little tiny like marking ones that I just did myself because I enjoyed that. I like tattoos. And then I've got my sister and I have matching ones. That's 96 and 98 because of our birth year. So on her 18th birthday, we went and got sibling tattoos.
Dope.
Awesome.
Yes, sir.
Perfect.
But only certain people can pull off tattoos, and I feel like you do a good job. But
Thanks.
For me, like I've got like a gremlin body. Like I've got a very large torso. You know, and then like my arms are really skinny. Like they're very scary skinny. But then like my frame is like a fat guy, but then like I've got skinny arms. So if you can imagine.
I'm trying to paint the visual.
Yeah, like, I don't.
Full exaggerated.
I can't have tattoos because it just looks weird.
I think it's all about location. A gremlin body.
Enrique, you get one on your chest. Of a gremlin.
Get the little gremlin face.
Gosh, that's an old movie though.
That's funny.
Great movie.
Great movie. The Gremlins. The Gremlins come out at night.
And I think it's time for me to go ahead and start wrapping myself up out of this podcast.
Myself up. I think so. Currently 12:36 for thine who isn't listening.
Yeah, I have to get up in about 6.5 hours.
You're an animal.
I'm going to exam at 8 a.m.
Oh, gosh. He's out here grinding.
Yeah.
Hey.
This shows how much how much I care.
I feel that. You said 10 p.m. Sunday, and I was like,
I did, and I don't care about my exams.
Love
if my
it.
teachers are somehow randomly watching this, I don't care about my exams.
Is it like a...
No family.
Is it like a you don't care, or is it like a you've already got the grades that are good enough?
It's as in I can graduate now. So like the points I'm gonna get for my exam will like boost my GPA, and that's it.
That a boy.
So
C's get degrees.
I don't care.
So legit. All right. Well, thanks guys for joining. This was fantastic. It ended up going a completely different path than I thought, and it was bueno.
Yeah. Maybe one day we can get back on here and actually have like a, an actual like Like the first like hour of this like
Yeah.
conversation was like
Dude,
really good.
I actually might clip it as an hour and like do the first part and then have an extended edition.
I feel that. Maybe we should do 2 raps then. We should do a rap now and a rap later.
That's yeah. You gotta wrap it out.
I enjoyed myself.
Dude, yeah,
I
that was
thought-
great.
Yeah.
Towards the end, yes, for sure.
Dope.
Yeah, I
Alright.
definitely really enjoyed this for sure.
I'm gonna wrap up the stream really fast. So guys,
Sounds
thank you for
good.
watching. Don't forget to comment, favorite, share, like, subscribe. Do it all be legit. Turn on notifications so you know when I'm on. That's the little bell.
That's
And-
up here.
I don't actually know where it would. It's somewhere on the screen. It's right next to the subscribe button. That's all we got. Thanks for watching. Let me get it on there. Do something nice, somebody. Peace out.